if one of my little mates didn't come and knock the door, we'd be dead. To get my dad out of the house was 2 riot vans and 4 squad cars. Bury my dad on the Friday, go jail on the Monday.
The day you got scouted, you was drunk?
Yeah. 40 grand lasted me 3 days. It's actually getting me upset. I don't do emotion.
Hey, yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Adebayo Akinfenwa, aka Mr. Beast Mode, aka the strongest man to ever grace the beautiful game. Welcome to the Beast Mode podcast. And today, I've got a certified beast. And I don't throw that out lightly. I won't even lie. This brother scored over 200 goals, scored against United, City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. But I did that as well, so I won't brag about that one. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, welcome, Mr. Troy Deeney.
Appreciate you all having me, and we're not gonna skip over that. The strongest player ever.
Ever. Like
Can
ever.
you give yourself that title?
No, it wasn't me. It was like the world gave me that.
Oh, the world
I
gave
even
you-
like the
okay.
world give me that. Like I've always said this, you know, Space Jam and all them things. So if they came down and they needed to like assemble the strongest footballer to save the world, you know them man ain't calling you. I'm just saying, you know,
That's cool.
Thanos and Akinfenwa, we kind of in the same room.
Again, I see something recently with you doing that. We just watched it on the way down. Like, you're giving yourself these
Well,
sayings.
how? So you tell me this. How many Troy Deeneys would it take
If you
to
ask me
take
about
on?
that
Hold
gorilla,
on,
I'm about to say, 'cause
no.
my kid's over there, he asking me the same stupid
not the
question.
gorilla, not the gorilla,
Yeah.
not the gorilla. Sometimes some people may say something scarier.
Okay.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many Troy Deeneys would it take to take down a prime Akinfenwa?
One.
What'd you say?
Just me.
But the worst thing is, I said 5.
You said
Like,
5. You
one
said 5
arm,
of you would
one,
take down you.
Wait, listen, I'm just saying, one for my right arm,
Yeah.
for my left arm, my right leg, and then my neck. So 5 of you could take me, because if any of them was free, whoo!
I just have to kick you with your one bad knee.
No,
It's
this
done.
is prime.
This
My
is
knee
done.
was good then.
Kick
Wait,
you with your one bad knee.
so
This
you
is
think-
finished.
You
This
think
is
one?
finished. One me. Because the difference is, right, and this is going to be nice. I'll be as honest as I can here. I'm respectful, because you got your little big brother over there as well, like security, just watching. I'm watching you, but I can see him. You know them ones? I'm watching you, but I can see him.
He's everywhere with me, I won't lie. But he's everywhere with me, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
No, what it is, and this is going to sound quite heinous, what I'm saying, you're not prepared to go to where I'm prepared to go to win.
I'm glad you touched on that. I'm glad, because we're gonna
So I'm
go.
saying, I will
we're-
poke you with your
We're
eyeball,
gonna come, brother.
Grab
Listen,
your nuts,
listen.
twist them, and headbutt you at the same
But I ain't gonna
time,
lie,
and
but
keep
you
it moving.
know I'm Nigerian out here. You know what I'm saying? Biting, bio, biting. I'm just.
Listen, you in your. I remember, I've seen you perform over a large part of your career. I was around. So even though like I'm 36, I think people think I'm like
Damn.
45. You're not gonna do that
I'm
to
sorry.
me.
I'm
You're not gonna do that to me. How old are you?
But I thought we was the same age.
How old are you?
Hey, we 40. I thought we. You're not on the 4
How old are you?
All right, let's take this back though. Listen,
go.
no, let's take this back. Let's take this back all the way
When
back.
I was young or when you was young?
Well, to when you was young, because
Okay.
people are gonna still think when they look at it we was the same age. I am older than him. Let me just throw that down. Let's take it back to the beginning. The
Yeah,
beginning of Troy.
go on.
So, like everybody, I would say when they were young, did you always want to be a footballer? Nah.
No, this wasn't my dream. That wasn't my dream at all.
No?
I wanted to be a firefighter.
Come again?
I wanted to be a firefighter because the only person in my family at that time, and he actually wasn't family, he was like, you know, that uncle who's not
Uncle,
really
he's
your
not
uncle.
family,
Yeah. He was making legal money and looked successful to me, was a fireman. And I used to be very lazy, believe it or not. I used to have 4 days on and 4 days off. So all I could think about was if I were a firefighter, I get 4 days off. And that was the extent of my dream.
What? So okay. So
that was it,
So
genuinely.
what age then did football?
But I always
then-
played football.
Yeah. Okay.
So I played football from when I could. I don't remember a time in my life
Not
without
playing football. At that, what moment was you when you was playing around other people that you was just like, "Bob, I'm better than these people."
24.
That late?
Yeah, when I was first year, I scored 25 in the champ.
That's so. Hold on. So, but I knew I was better than the people I was playing with at 13. Cause
But you got to remember, like, again, I speak about this not to be like anyone feels sorry for, but obviously I had the incident with my dad beat up me and my mum, right? I was 9 at the time.
sorry, and I'm gonna say
go,
this right. for me, these are pinnacle moments. 9. But so tell me, because I always say you're a product of your environment and you're a product of experiences which shapes you.
Yeah.
So that 9-year-old Troy, when that incident happened, how did that shape you? As in, and I'm again, this is not just football.
You're not gonna
But I'm saying,
go on.
but the reason why this is why I wanted this conversation, because you are more than just a footballer. All right? This is not me blind smoke up. You're more than just a footballer, and there's going to be individuals out here that relate to
of course,
stuff that
And
goes
that's
on a
the only
day to
reason
day.
I say it. It's not to like. I believe in the snowball effect. I've told you this before. If I can impact one person that watches this, that one does 3, 3 does 5, so on and so forth. So that incident was like, I think now obviously doing therapy, it's like fight and flight, isn't it? You don't really know, but basically my mum had left my dad. My dad didn't like it, and for about 3 to 4 months, we basically weren't allowed to tell my dad where we'd lived. So if he met us or picked us up, it was like at an aunt's house, or do you know what I mean? That was like far from us. Anyway, on this particular day, my dad obviously had been out and about and doing whatever he's doing, and he was obviously now he was high and drunk and angry. Do you know what I mean? Basically, he felt slighted, that my mum had left at it. Do you get what I'm saying? So what had happened in that regard was, we get in the car, and he's basically said to my little brother, who was about, I'm nice, my brother would have been 5/6. Like, my brother's like, we ride our bikes this way home.
Okay.
So my dad's now like, all right, tell me where. Gets there anyway, knocks the door, pushing my mum through the door, blah, blah, blah. And obviously at this point now, he's hitting my mum, innit? So I'm 9, innit? It doesn't matter if I'm 9 or 90. Like, no one's going to put their hands on my mum. So you stay there, you take a kicking, but it is what it is. And to this day, I promise you this is not an exaggeration, I'd be dead if one of my little mates didn't come and knock the door. We'd be dead. He'd have killed us.
So, look, again, I can't even fathom that. I won't even.
Let me package this up to you, right? So my little mate knocks the door. My dad opens it, screams at this kid. This kid, little white kid at the time, Lee, runs home, tells his mum. There's a man at Troy's house, never seen him before. I did screaming and shouting, but I could hear people screaming, right? To get my dad out of the house was 2 riot vans and 4 squad cars. Think how many people that is to get him out of the house.
How does that impact the 9-year-old Troy going forward?
It's heartbreaking. That's my hero, isn't it? That's why I don't have heroes. That's why I don't believe in when they say you're a role model. Your role model can let you down in an instant. Don't put footballers as your role model. Don't put an actor. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
So obviously it's nice for people. Maybe that's a bit of trauma that I need to work through and all of that. But for me, it's like, who are you on a day-to-day basis? I am what I say. I'm a piece of paper that's crumpled up. I'm not that neat piece of paper that you can write.
Yeah, I hear that.
Do you know what I mean? So, no, what it did for me at that point was, obviously it was heartbreaking. Then it goes into embarrassment, because I had to have a social worker at school. So now imagine I got someone at the time felt like your size, sat on them kiddie chairs, you have to go do parents' evening, you can't even get in. And he sat next to me all the time, and I felt like everyone was just watching me. So as soon as I went to secondary school, I had that for a year. As soon as I went to secondary school, I was like, switch flicked, and I was like, right, how do I do it so no one does that again? So I've got the record at my old school. It's not down now, but for the most detentions in the year, I had 252 detentions. Everyone thought he was crazy. Did all the stupid shit we could do so that people would leave me alone.
But then was football either one, your escape, or because you see life such at an early age, football was just
Fun.
a game?
It's just fun.
Yes.
And this is why I can never understand when people wrap their head around, like, football has 3 outcomes. You win, you lose, you draw. Guess what? You do it again. Championship or EFL, you do it in 2 days. Prem, you do it in 4 to 5. That's the most negative thing that could happen. The most negative thing that could happen is somebody online or a pundit like me or you goes, he's not very good.
Yeah.
That's the worst that could happen. All right, sound. Put me in that atmosphere all day, every day.
You know what I'd say? You know what I think the beautiful thing is, right? Is the fact where I always say this, like you said, and you agreed that you're a product of your environment. And I always say, but when you find out or you get comfortable with who you are, you see the world in such a plain sight. Do you know what I'm saying? You learn at 9 what it takes individuals to learn sometimes in a lifetime. So my thing was, the most important thing was playing football. The most important thing for you was, well, at 9, you to stay alive in regards to your situation.
Yeah.
Then so like you said, and then all of a sudden you've got through that, maneuvered that, then 18, it's a different, and then we have kids, and then we all start realizing. So
I had him at 20. Jesus. Yeah, 20. He was 20 when I had the little man over there. Sorry, he could give me that look. And every time I call him little man, he's like, I'm big now.
Trust me,
I had the little man at 20. Went to jail at 21. No, 22. Yeah, that was right. So 20, the month after I was 21. Then I went to jail at 22.
So is it true the day you got scouted, you was drunk?
Yeah.
What? Don't take the piss. You scored 7 goals?
Listen, I scored a few in it. But basically, what happened was, I used to be a builder. So obviously, I got kicked out of school in year 10. But they let me do year 11, but only allowed to play the football matches. I wasn't allowed to take the GCSEs and all of that. So I went to Carillion Building School. Passed that by like 17, 18. Just about past that because I was terrible, but I got through. And then basically, I was on the job, innit? Just doing a job, and the job finished that Friday. So each week you get 220, 250, whatever it was, 200 sort of pounds.
Yeah, cool.
Obviously, you go home, Mom, that's yours. You know, what do we need? Blah blah blah. And then whatever's mine, I'm out in it. I'm out with the lads. And
What age was this?
18.
Okay.
So I'm 18 now, and I'm obviously.
So where are you playing? Where is this?
Chelmsford Town. This is Midland Com 2, so this is step 12.
Okay, so this is non-league for individuals. This is
Yeah,
non-league, right?
but I'm paying to play. You're not getting paid. I'm paid £20 per month to play.
Damn.
In this team. Yeah, like this is just our thing from home, innit? Do you know what I mean? And to me, that was at the time the biggest thing. Like if I could get in that team with my mates and the people that I see around my area doing well, I'll be respected. And that's a lot of, from the incident, again, total flip-flop, but from that incident at 9, once I got to like secondary school, it was all about being respected. In no matter which way, I will be respected.
Okay.
Whether you give it me or I've got to make you.
Okay.
You will respect me by the end of it. Again, and now as a 36-year-old with 4 kids, sound like an arsehole, but that was the mentality.
But that's where you are.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah, obviously playing, I went out Friday night, because obviously I'm sacked now, innit? The job's done. So it's like, you got to worry about it over the weekend, or you just wait till Monday and try to figure it out, innit? So I gave my mum her money, went out Friday, got home about 3, 4. My mum, still to this day, cleans on a Saturday, tunes on, works her way from top to bottom, gets to my room, you got to get out. I'm like, oh, all right, check the phone, lads are playing, let's go and play football. Bag, muddy boots, quick brush the teeth and all that, fly across, because it was literally across the road. But I'm playing with like one of the lads, I won't say his name, but it was like 25, he's doing an M stretch now. Like, Joe, like I'm playing with these guys, but again, now for me, it's like, how do I get their respect? So the way I could do that is I could be just as physical. I can run hard. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all of these type of things.
Yeah.
So anyway, go play, whatever, score a few goals, life's good. After the game, I'm walking in, and they used to put like chips and like chip butty type thing on afterwards. Obviously, it's first come, first serve. So when them chips are done, you ain't getting none in it. But obviously, I'm thinking now, and also, I don't think I've said this probably, when I got there, because I was hanging, I had a double Jack Daniels and Coke to level it off. Do you know what I mean?
No, talk to me.
Nah, so if you're burst, yeah, the best thing to level you out is another drink at it. Don't then try and come off the wagon. You got to have another one.
So it's not water?
No, water's overrated. Only now I'm drinking water. Kids drink water. But, and as I'm walking into the thing, this guy, Mick Housel now, who obviously changed my life or changed all our family's life, he was like, who are you? Where have you been? Like, how old are you? I was like, 18. But I'm just looking over his shoulder the whole time, like counting how many people have gone in to get the chips.
You want your chips, man? Talk the talk.
Yeah, I'm fuming. And he's like, come to Warsaw, and like, Warsaw's this. And I'd never been outside of Birmingham at this point, so I didn't even know where Warsaw was. And if you put it into perspective, it's not knowing where Watford is in London. But I'm like, all right, yeah, Warsaw, yeah, oh, okay, mate, no problem. It's like, Monday, be there, yeah. Fly and get my chips, go out Saturday, play Sunday league, get in a fight Sunday league, go out Sunday, and then I'm in bed, like, hurting now, 3 days on it, and the door's just banging. I'm like, who's that? Not even open the door, you know, at the top window, like, what? So you got that trial? I'm like, huh? What trial? Tells me about it. All right, cool. Brush my teeth. Throw on the trackie that I wore from the day before. Boots in the Asda bag. Let's go. Guy drops me there, deck. Always give him credit because he was working, so he didn't have to come and do it, but he just made sure that I did it. He must have heard that I was out the night before, whatever. Gets there, and he's like, why do I got to go work now? Good chance, have a good opportunity. I was like, where are you going? He's like, to work. I'm like, well, how am I going to get home? He's like, lend me £20, and then the rest is history.
So, of course, once you've got clout and you've put in, people then start saying...
But you know what? The first day, yeah, I remember it. So you obviously go in, say you got to fill like a trial form out and all that. I'm sure you've done that. I was scared to sign the form, bro, because I thought I owed someone money. The only time you owed, only time you had forms to help from is like, someone's coming to take the TV or something. Do you know what I mean? So obviously I did that, and you go in and they've all got their kit with the numbers on, and obviously this is Warsaw. It ain't great kit, but it's still your own.
It's a level up from where you've been.
They had a towel. I was like, rah, you like shower here and that. Like I'm used to like throwing the trackie back on, going home and sort it out. So anyway, we go and train. I was looking, probably similar to you with your brother. I'm looking at these kids who are like 16, 17, 18, 19. And I'm like, you like puny. Like, you're too small to be on the pitch with me.
Yeah.
And obviously, I got picked up as a midfielder. This is what people don't know. I never played a striker before I'd walked in at Warsaw.
Don't do that, though.
So I was always a midfielder. I was a right back and then a midfielder. So anyway, like I go in and like I can't ping a ball because I've never been in the academy system. So my ball is kind of like a bit of a floaty, drifty. It gets there, but it takes a couple seconds. And the manager's going to be like, Mick's going to be like, oh no, just ping it. And these technically gifted kids are zinging it and all that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ! All right, I have to figure this out. And then we do rondos, you do passing drills, and then he goes, right, we'll have a 11v11. But it's kind of like the 11 that he's got in mind for the Saturday and like us.
Yeah.
Obviously, no one's pre-warned me that in it. So there's a 50-50, which obviously I win, the kid goes off injured.
Obviously. Sorry. Obviously.
So I'm literally like, what? And they're like, can't be tackled like that. I'm like, oh, that's light. Okay, I'll tone it down. And anyway, as I'm toning it down, it's like I can't play my weight like half-hearted.
Yeah.
So he goes, you know what, I'm just going to try something here. Will you go up front? We haven't got a striker. Will you just go there, be a target man? So I literally had to say to him, like, what's a target man? And he was like, oh, like a Chris Sutton. Oh, okay, cool, I could do that. Because again, I'm a student
of the game.
Unbeknownst to me, I'm a student of the game, watching all these people, understanding it. Back in the day, obviously, you have to draw kits and, you make your own dream team and all that stuff. So I was like, all right, cool, I could do that. And someone just like pinged the ball up to me, and I've just jumped up, bang, chested it, set, it's gone wide, crossed it, headed it, scored. And he's like, you sure you never played up front before? I was like, nah, like, was that all right? Was that good then? And he's like, oh yeah. So then now I'm in the team on that Saturday. He puts me in as a trialist against some under-18s team. First cross, bro, I friggin' headed the goalkeeper. He's knocked out.
Don't seem like you're a nice guy at this time. I'm just
trying to win the ball. Like, just whip the ball.
You're a bit of a goon. I'm about to say it's
no, I probably was. But at this point, obviously the ball comes in. I try to win the ball. Keeper like misses the ball. We clash heads. He goes down. I'm down. You know that moment when everyone's like, "Oh my God, that was that."
Yeah.
And then I just pop back up. I'm like, "Are you right, bro?" And he's like, "He's out." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I just walk back, have a drink, and I'm apologising, like, "Sorry, I missed a header." And the manager's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, I probably should have scored that." Anyway, that game goes on. I score one and I assist. But again, this is why I think I'm here for a reason. And people are going to think this is big-headed, but you will understand it. The Warsaw first team manager came down to watch the game because their game was potentially being called off he watched the first half because we go to the pitch inspection. First half, I score, assist, and obviously I smashed the keeper. Bear in mind, they're League Two at this point.
Yeah.
So the first thing he says is, "Who's that?
Who's that?
And why hasn't he been in that?" So then from that, I ended up with a 6-month trial. No pay, just a trade ticket.
So they weren't giving expenses, just getting you there.
Just got me there, and that was, and even the amount of the trade ticket that they offered me wasn't even enough to get me there and back. I had to jump a train to get there. Do you know what I mean? So, and then I went on loan to Hales Owen, and again, mentality. My friend, he'll testify. This Junior Brown was in the army, and he was like coming at the time of his service. So he was like, he was playing in the army, doing boxing and football, but he was obviously good. And he was like, I want to try and go to Hales Owen. You come to a game with me, and then we could speak to Martin O'Connor, and potentially then like end of the season we could go in to get like we were trying to like hustle something that we could probably just get like £50 each. We were happy with that. Anyway, we're chatting, blah blah blah, and he's like, yeah, cool, like cool. He's like, what's your name? I go, Troy Deeney. He's like, play for Walsall, innit? I said, yeah. He's like, I'm watching your game at Tabworth tomorrow. You got Blues for the reserves. I remember the Resi League used to be sick at it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, I'm gonna watch you there. If it's all good, you'll come in here for a month. Obviously, I'm green and I don't know. Managers talk to managers. They're gonna scout you for this. Blah, blah. Anyway, I do one in that game. He takes me on loan. I go on loan for the month of December. I either scored 8 in 10 or scored 10 in 8. I can't remember. It's one of the two ways.
You scored hella goals.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And we played Merthyr Tydfil away. I'll never forget this because I genuinely believe this is what gave me a career. Scored a hat-trick. Obviously, you know them one. Merthyr Tydfil's like, I think it's North Wales. So it's somewhere it's far.
It's
anyway.
up in Wales because that's where I used to play for Barry and Swansea.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's far though, isn't it?
It's far.
So anyway, we got back around like 3-4 to the stadium at Hales Owen. Then I'm an hour away from there to mine. So I got home about 5. My phone's ringing at 8 o'clock. And obviously it's Mick, so I've like answered the phone. Hey Mick, first team need you. Got to be in at 9. Takes me an hour to get to Walsall. So now I ran to the train station. Got in at like 5:02. Managed to we just like catch the trains. Like you just and I've got there. I'm sweating. I'm everything. And then I look around. There's no one there. Like nobody's there. Just Mick, just me. And he goes, "Oh, you made it." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh, cool," because there was 4 of us from Walsall on loan. And when I called all of yous, you're the only one who turned up. And I was like, is this a test? He goes, yeah, you could go home now, or since you're here.
Swear
He
down.
went, as you're here, there's some balls on the Astro and one of the physios, and if you want to do a gym session, you choose though, it's up to you.
Yeah.
But he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, we know
so obviously,
that one.
then I'm there then until 4 or 5 in the afternoon. But then literally at that point, they gave me a contract the next day.
So that moment there. So now everything's been a grind. So at that moment now, you've now signed and you're a professional. Just tell me that moment.
Nothing changed.
But
On my life, nothing changed. I was on £120 a week. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Let me put this into perspective, yeah? My brother's at Villa at this time, and my brother's like, I've told you before, my brother's the shit, man. I would always give him credit. He's miles better than me at everything. But just mentally, there's a thing with me that my brother's the type, like, if you say to him, if you're here at 9 and you do this, you'll get that. He'll be there at 9. And he'll outwork everyone, he'll do it. But for me, it's just like, maybe there's an opportunity. If something may be over there, I'm going, let's go and have a look.
Okay.
Let's figure it out.
why? Why was the difference between you and your bro in that?
I'm older. Also, he went to Villa at 6 years old, got released at 21 when our dad died, right? So his love and burning desire for it kind of went with that. But I think if we were being really honest, he had it nice. He's so talented. Do you get me?
Where
I'm not that talented. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, right, let's go.
Always been 50, a fire, always been
a
yeah.
And I've always been trying to get like attention or like gratification.
So then, this is what. So that Walsall. I just want to. So that Walsall moment. Wasn't that.
No.
It wasn't
because I wasn't even starting for the reserves at that point.
Okay.
Remember going to play Barnsley away reserves, and one of the lads who was a striker at the time, he knows it is because we've spoken about it since. He had a Louis Vuitton washback. Now, bear in mind, I'm from Chelmsford Wood. I don't know what Louis Vuitton is from friggin' TK Maxx, bro. That's just a bag with shower gel in it, innit? And obviously, it's on a space. I go, oh, can I sit down? He's like, nah, my bag's there. And put a seatbelt on his bag.
What?
I swear down. And I was literally like, this is where I'm trying to figure out the footballer stuff. Because in my head, I was like, just punch him up and take the bag at it.
I'm not gonna lie to you, but I don't care, and I'll say this now. I don't care if you was the top striker and had bet. If you did that to me, that your bag was worth more than me sitting down, I ain't gonna lie. Right then, I'll punch you up, and I'm not even as aggressive as you.
No, but
I'd have punched him
but
up
the thing
then.
Is, but the thing is, because remember again. So for as aggressive and as I'm gonna get that off you, yeah. I'm a mommy's boy at heart, right? So I've seen what violence can do. Yeah. So I'm always, and it's gonna sound mad, obviously, when we get into the jail stuff, but I'm always conscious of not trying to be physical. Because I know, same as you know, if you hit someone, they stay hitting it, as they say. So anyway, I do that, but also, I probably should touch on this earlier. When I had a contract, like the trial thing with Warsaw, I had to go say to my mum, I can't help you. Because bear in mind, since 10 years old, I've been chipping in and helping out. So the decision was on my mum. Like, can we get through this with me not chipping in for 6 months, but living here? Because I've still got to eat. Do you know what I mean? I'm borrowing my brother, who's 3 years younger than me, Peugeot 106.
Boy car, by the way.
So I'm either driving him to training, to drop him off, to go to my training, to do my training, to get back to pick him up, to then, do you get what I'm saying? I'm doing all the, or I'm driving my mum's Focus from there, drop her to work, from work, get to training, so and so. So either way, there was always a sacrifice for other people. And when I signed that contract, she said to me, just make sure it was worth it. So in that split moment, don't ask me why, maybe the man upstairs was like, all right, just log that.
Say nothing. I hear you.
If you'd have done that 5 years after,
Yeah.
he'd have had no teeth.
Yeah.
But he was like, okay, noted. But by the way, you're playing my position. So every day, I'm going to make your life hell. Not by bullying you, not by that. I'm going to score more than you. I'm going to run all over you. I'm going to lift more weight. Bear in mind that this is what people don't know as well. I never lifted a weight before I went to Warsaw. I never... when you first go in and like you got dumbbells, I'm like, this thing's happening. And I'm this is with like 4 and 6 kilos.
Yeah.
And the guys are like, where did you find this kid? I'm like, nah, I do press ups.
Yeah. So what was that moment you broke in?
So the first year, that same year, is like they got the contract.
You had Mooney's play with you, right? Tommy Mooney?
Tommy came, yeah, so there's actually a funny story. So bear in mind, I was getting bare tests that I didn't realise, shaped me perfectly for now. So anyway, I'm on trial, come back, get the contract. I'm training first team, playing reserve games. Extra, you know the spiel.
I know it.
But then basically, whenever, because I was close, but they were getting promoted at it from League Two. They were going up as champions. And Richard Money used to say to me, right, we're going to play Northampton here. So I want you to watch Bayo, do a full report, travel with the team, get used to traveling, what it's like. But you got to do a full report on Bayo, and I want it on my desk Monday morning. I'm actually scouting you because he wants to know what am I learning from the game. Am I actually watching the game?
Yeah.
So anyway, we did Wickham away, played Wickham, funny enough. Moons was there. I had to do a full report on a 37-year-old Tommy Mooney. Bear in mind, Tommy Mooney was my hero at Blues as well. So anyway, I was like fat, lazy, doesn't really run, great movement, excellent in the air, did this full thing. Fast forward 3 months, who do we sign?
Yeah, B.
Tommy Mooney. So obviously I'm like, oh, fucking hell, that was a guy for Wickham. I can run all over him. Gaffer goes, come into the office. He's got Moons there, and I see my piece of paper. I was like, oh no. Do you know when at this moment, we fucked up. Yeah, that was that. I was like, oh shit. It's like, we just signed Tommy. He's obviously got to come in, leadership, all that. I just want you to read what you said about Tommy to Tommy. I was like, all right, fuck it. At this point, we're ready. So I just read it all word for word. Tommy starts laughing. He goes, how many times you scored at Anfield?
I'm mad, cuz.
And I went, never. And he went, okay then, until you fucking do, learn your place. You'll be with me now. But fair play, he got some nuts because most people wouldn't have done that. So fair play to you. And literally to this day, Moons is one of my like mentors with anything with life. If I go, I'm thinking about doing this or thinking about that. Literally 2 weeks ago, he messaged me. He was like, I've seen you everywhere. Are you sleeping? He was the first one that taught me how to be a pro. We then got Michael Ricketts, who taught me how to be a player. And then we got Darren Byfield, who taught me how to mix both football, lifestyle, my aggression, and how, like, taught me how to be like a black player. Do you get what I mean?
I hear
and
what
you
you're
understand that.
I understand that. The worst thing is I understand that. I do think we should elaborate on that bit because I understand it. I understand that.
So what I mean by that is in the space, especially in the lower leagues at the time, it was very dominant with white people. I'm comfortable in those spaces anyway, similarly as you are. But he was like, you see when you come in with a hoodie and you're loud and you're this, that puts the manager off like that. So maybe you can do the loud hoodies, whatever, but in the car.
So no, I agree.
But it's not a race thing. It's just you've got to understand how to play the game.
Time.
Yeah,
at
for that time.
So at the time, of course, we've evolved.
Yeah,
social medias. So even now, you've got managers that know what the best track is and when tracks are played. So, but in our time, it wasn't. It was football was very, very regimented. For me, I was the biggest person in the room, black or white, but I was a big black. So I know before I even said anything, I had a bald head. Before I even said anything, I was intimidating. So I.
But you're only small though, innit? People don't realise
big man
that.
in that, see what I'm saying? Big man in that, you know what I'm saying?
No, but
we can tell a story the first time.
5'8",
What?
5'9".
6'1", cuz. You know what I'm saying?
Don't lie.
6 foot then, cuz. I am. I'm 6 foot,
No way
cuz.
you 6 foot.
What are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Well, we're the same.
You're shorter than me, bro.
You're
I'll show you in a minute.
liar.
Anyway, carry on.
Cool.
Sorry, please.
Say that. But so funny enough is that Tommy Mooney.
Yeah.
You know when I first saw you, I think I was at Swansea and you was at Warsaw. Or I was at Northampton. But it was one of them. It was first time.
Swansea.
And you was playing with
League
Tommy
One.
Mooney. And well, funny when you say that story because Tommy Mooney straight away said, "Don't I like salad?" That was his first word to me. He come back and said, "What? You don't like salad, do you?" I looked at this brother like, "You don't even know me, cuz." But I remember because you was young and the top was baggy on you.
Yeah.
But you was hella strong. But who is this brother giving my defenders so much trouble? That's what. So I'm watching. So of course we're on opposite.
Yeah.
So I'm like this. But you know when you've
But I
roughed
could
up.
run though, innit?
But
was
you was
my thing as
roughing
well.
up my defense.
Yeah.
So that was the first time where I was like, nah, brother.
But bro, I'll never forget this story. It has to be said, right? So we went through this phase, 1v1, everything's kind of. Let's say remember the old perks, I'd put DP in your boxes, for example, yeah? And for people that don't know, you put DP at the line, you rub it in with the boxers, the person comes, they put it on, obviously the gooch is a little bit tingly for a while. So anyway, it started off like that, and it had this it went on for every day for about 3 weeks, to the point where the manager come in and was like, lads, it's embarrassing now. So Jez undid the wheel on Foxy's car. So then Foxy tried to drive off and I had to call him like, yo, don't, your wheel's gonna come off, Then Jez had this Volvo and someone parked it bro, it was a good 20 minutes away. And you know where the car has to follow it? Yeah. So he thinks he's got robbed and he's stressing. And then, but this one day, so Dwayne Mattis, he came in. And it was about 5 of us versus 5 of them. And he came in and put dead rats in people's wash bags. So you know when you come back in now, you're chatting and you're like, boom, boom, and you're trying to grab it. Everyone's like, pull out this dead rat, this big. This is the funny part, I get in my car, because obviously I didn't have a wash bag at the time. So I get in my car, the rat's in the passenger seat with a seatbelt on.
But the maddest thing is, I have never, but I've heard grasshoppers in a car, rats.
And then obviously, because he's got Jez now, Jez came in with a snake. And we're all
these man getting hold of these stuff?
I don't know, we just got stupid. And Jez just threw the snake in the change room. And on the change room door, it was like a handle on the outside, you could hold it. So we just threw that in and then just howled the door. And it may have been 30 seconds. It felt like 3 lifetimes. I am so scared of snakes, it's a joke. I've never squealed, ran and jumped so high in my life. And this snake's just... And it got to the point the manager's like,
This has got to
lads.
stop. This has got to
Yeah.
stop. You know what's a good segue at this point in cultures of changing rooms? And I think cultures and change rooms are so powerful. So you went from Warsaw, scored, so then Watford comes in.
Yeah.
So now you're professional,
Yeah.
scoring goals. Not saying it's coming easy, so I won't even, but you're scoring goals. And now
People are chatting about me.
people
now,
are chatting about you. So now the Watfords come in, and not only are they chatting about you, they're now paying you for your services. So up until this point now, football's been, bruv, you've either played to play, or they've just given you the bare minimum. Now it's got to that stage where...
Bro, this is the funny thing, yeah. So the year I left Warsaw, I was on £180 a week.
So in League One?
League One, £180 a week. And I got like, the most I could earn in a week was 350. But we'd have to win.
Bonuses,
I'd have to start, we'd have to win, I'd have to score 4. You know, them type of things. So, but again, like, it is what it is. At this point, I'm all right. Life's okay. So anyway, Charlton were like the front runners. I was meant to be in there, and they were going to offer me £3,000 a week. And I remember when I heard £3,000, I was like, rah, I'm only worth £3,000, because I thought that was what they were going to pay to buy me, was £3,000.
Okay.
And then they were like, no, you're going to get £3,000 per week. And I was like, rah, 3 times 52. Oh, that's real money. So at this point, I was like,
so is that the first time you got excited?
Okay. This is like, you know what it's like. You're already spending.
I was excited already.
Yeah,
I've been excited way before. You get me?
But you know what people don't understand is when someone says £3,000 a week, there's not a tax bit that comes in there. There's none of that. You're thinking, I can run through £3,000 in 1 week and I'll get exactly £3,000 the next week. And hold on, it doesn't matter if I play, if I lose, I get that. My God, yeah. So anyway, I'm at this point now. This is in the off season, like mid-June, and my agent at the time was like, "That's crap. You ain't signing that." I'm like, "Bro, do you know where I live? Like, do you know what people do for that? Don't." And then he goes, "Watford." I'm like, "Watford? Like, I ain't heard of them since John Barnes." Like, that's kind of, my dad used to speak about John Barnes. I'd never really seen Watford or heard of Watford, so I was like, okay, I don't know. Like, I've heard of Charlton. Blues played there in the Prem, and I went there as a fan. So I kind of knew that. And he was like, they're offering £5,000 a week. I was like, fuck Charlton, bro. I was like, where are we going? And I was like, yeah, they're offering £5,000. I was like, yo. Yeah. I was like, I don't care where it is. Yeah. Let's just get it done. And I got my deal done at 12 o'clock Friday. So, but in the 2 weeks before that, it was kind of like they were going to let me go, they weren't going to let me go, they weren't going to let me go. And then I got told, as you get told, like, listen, you're going to have to kick up a fuss here. Yeah. And obviously at this point, they're saying £5,000. To put it into perspective, the house that we lived in that I bought was 58,000. But you ain't got to put it. No, but I'm glad I just want let the people know that. I'm going, hold on a sec. My mum's grafting. Yeah. I'm grafting. My brother's grafting. So regardless of what I've got to do to go, we're going. So I just said to him, like, how bad do I need to go? Because I'll take tyres off cars. And no one's leaving until we get this done. Do you know what I mean? And he's just like, no, just, train half-hearted. Who was the manager at Warsaw at the time? Chris Hutchins, but he had Martin O'Connor there, who was the guy who took me in at Hales Owen. So me and Skip kind of got on. And we laugh about it now, but I was so rude to him one time, because he was trying to say to me, look, and I understand from his perspective. His perspective was, keep me for a year. They can obviously do well. They'll probably move on because they know I'm definitely moving on. Do you get what I mean? But he was like, if without Troy, this team's going to fall apart. This is going to fall apart, yeah. And again, older me now could understand and think, okay, understand where you was at. And he used to drive this gold Saab, and I even feel embarrassed saying this, but it's just the truth. So he used to drive this gold drop-top Saab. And I was training and I was kicking balls away and, like, how the thing goes. I'm kicking it over fences. And I remember him say to me, like, he went, it's like, all the money's going to come to you. Like, I was at Blues and I was like this. I was like, yeah, bro, but look at the dead car you drive. Bear in mind, I don't even own a car at this point. Yeah. But I'm like, you're talking to me like you've passed it, you've done it. I'm like, do you think I'm retiring and driving a gold Saab? That's mental.
Yeah, you bad man.
And I remember Byers was like,
You can't say
that, bro. And I was like, listen, someone needs to let me go because we got a week till the season starts. I ain't played a game in it. And basically, we got the deal done that Friday. But the deal in itself is so me, innit? Like, I went down on the Thursday night because they told me it was done. So I go to Sopwell House, have the medical, all good. But my mum drove me down. We get there and this is like 11 p.m. Deal's off. What do you mean deal's off? We've done the medical. I'm checking into like we're about. I'm ready to go. Deal's off. Now my mum's upset. I'm like, I don't understand football. Like, I'm ready to just punch anyone's head in at this point. My mum's like, just get in the car. We'll go home. We'll figure it out. Get back home. 7 a.m. Deal's on. You going today? Now I'm going. What the fuck happened? I was there. Now I'm not here. Now my mum's at work. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get there. They want you to come into Warsaw. Manager wants to do something. So I'm like, all right, whatever. But you got to get your heart, the ECG scans.
Yeah.
So I ended up driving to Wolverhampton, got my ECG at 8:30, got into training for 9. No, 9:30, sorry, because it was a 10 o'clock start. Walk in. Bear in mind, I broke out in these big stress spots, bro. Like, boom, boom, boom. And the manager goes, just want to say thanks for everything.
He called you in to say thank you.
I was like, are you a dickhead?
Yeah, well, I mean, he wanted to say thank you, brother.
Text me in it.
He wanted to give you a hug, no?
Nah, we didn't get no hugs. I just grabbed my boots. The lads were like, Troy, like, fuck you, like that. I'm gone. I need to go sign this deal. They had to fly down to Beaconsfield service station. Signed it there at like 12:01. Jenny met me there from the club. She's at Spurs now, lovely lady. Signed it in there. Literally, she must have ran in, scanned it across, bang, yes, you could go. So she drove me from that service station to one on the A something or other on the way to Norwich. Martin Purty, the fitness coach, now he's fuming, by the way, because he's meant to be with the team. He's the only one with the car. He's got to drive, meet me, drive it to the hotel. Purty, obviously, he's at Ipswich now. He's a good guy, but he don't want to speak to me because he's fuming. He's had to do the drive. I don't know him, so we're like, he's driving. I'm looking out the window like, you all right? Yep. All right, cool. And then get to the hotel at 4 o'clock. They give me the room key, like, yeah, you're there. Here's the bag. Like, get your stuff done. But all right, cool. Run upstairs. Food's at 4:45. Walk upstairs. Dale Bennett. I don't know if you've ever played with Dale. No, but Dale's like, he was jacked, boy. He's a good nick, centre back. And he's just come out the shower, yeah. So, like, when the steam's coming off a man, genuinely. And then he's looked at me, and I thought, right, I have to fight this kid already. I didn't even know his name. But when someone's looking at you, like, like, faces bent up.
I was going to ask you about that, but go on,
I'm thinking, right, like, what's... I'm like, you're right, mate, I'm Troy, nice to meet you. He's like, I know who you are. I was like, are you all right? He's like, oh, yeah, I was in the squad, but I just got kicked out of the squad because we've signed you. Now, he's had to run. And now they thought it's a good idea to put me and him in the same room.
Say no, and I get it.
So now I'm like, okay.
I see why he's got good.
Yeah.
Right,
but cool. What I ended up figuring out is like he was like 2 games away from a contract extension.
Okay.
So obviously for him, totally get it, and it was fine.
Yeah.
And then literally, bro, just bang in, go downstairs, don't know anyone, on the bench against Norwich.
Was there any thing that dropped to your doubt in your mind, thinking, boy, man, this is a step up?
No, that the only step up was like the subs had to warm up with the starters, and that blew my head. Okay. I'm like, what do you mean? They're gonna start, and we're gonna go sit down for an hour. So they're doing that, and then I really did try and buy into it. Obviously, Marvin Sordell, Danny Graham both started that season off on fire. I think they both had I think Danny was on 10 by the end of the month. I think Danny ended up scoring 27 goals that year. Marvin broke through. I think he was on 4 or 5, but a couple of us, they just hit the ground and it worked, right? So I was like, all right. So I'm traveling. I'm on the bench. I'm traveling. I'm on the bench. I'm traveling. I'm on the bench. Then end of the month comes. I get my first paycheck. Don't chat to me about football for a little while.
Good. So good, because I actually,
good.
I wanted to touch on that because, so Up until you got your first paycheck, you're
Yeah.
now doing everything properly. You're
Yeah.
going in there.
I'm staying in the hotel. I'm staying in the David Lloyd at 12 o'clock. I put my stuff on. I'm broke at this point, by the way. That £180 at Warsaw did not last the whole month. So I get across there. A second that put my number in, boop, 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 ting, 14,800. So that's after emergency tax. I was like, oh shit, let's go, Mum. Here's a bag at it, right? I am going to get the Gucci trainers I've been looking at, the Ed Hardy t-shirts, you name it. I bought everything. I did that. 14 grand lasted me 3 days. 3 days.
Oh, snap.
I went to all the boys. You know, the boys have been like floating you when you're out. This one's on me. Like, you know what I mean? My little man here, every tracksuit you need. His mum, obviously, at the time, whatever you like.
Yeah, I
ran through it so
which
quick.
You do. Yeah, which you
so
do.
quick. And then also, like, we didn't have a house at that point. So, all right, let's start looking at somewhere to rent. Oh shit, actually, you know what? We're looking at renting. We could probably buy something. And you know how you go through all of that stuff. But I didn't ever want to leave Chelmsford, where I'm from. I didn't want to leave that. That's my safe space. So bear in mind, I'm at Watford. I'm driving every day. But these times, now I'm out and I'm about and people are talking and like my friends are who my friends are, but now they're noticing me. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Because now I can buy 4 or 5 bottles.
Yeah.
And,
I get
do you get what I'm saying?
I get.
And then, you know, as you know, the line, you don't even see the line anymore. You start walking around it and they're just like, Troy. And you're like, bro, I've been coming here for 3 years, you know. You never said my name, but now,
all of a sudden,
now it's
y'all know.
first name, last name, how's things? So obviously you start getting caught up in that.
Look,
That's
it
what
wouldn't
it
be
is.
right to be. So now you're at Watford. Your life's changed.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
two ways about it, boy. You can buy whatever it is. Stresses of
Mm-hmm.
what we would say deemed as stresses is
Yeah,
no
yeah,
longer
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So then, the prison thing comes.
Yeah.
So
Same year.
Same year, and you've just had little man.
Mm-hmm.
So talk me through it because I don't even know that story.
Yeah, so basically, like, I'm raised by 5 people, yeah? So in the spell of me going to Watford, I lose my great nan, who, like, used to look after me as a kid and all that. She had dementia, so she passed away, but she could only remember my name. So that's how close our thing was. So, like my nan and granddad, my mom, she'd get the names mixed up, but whenever I walked in, oh, that's Troy, that's my baby. She just remembered me as the baby. So I was, anyway, so she passed away. So that kind of rocked me a little bit, but because she had dementia, it was a bit like, I'm glad she's not suffering. Do you get me?
Pain, yeah.
And then my granddad passed away 4 months after being at Watford. Yeah, 4 months after being at Watford. So he had cancer, beat cancer, and died of a heart attack the week after getting the all clear. And then that just like, that blew my head, yeah. So I was like, fucking hell, my granddad's gone now. So all I've got now is my nan, my mum, my dad, that's it. Me and my dad now building our thing back up to, obviously, never really spoke about that incident ever again. It's just, it is what it is. You roll with the punches. But now he's getting to the point where he's getting a bit older. He's got grandkids. You know, like my son's 2 at the time. My brother's just having a kid. And I'm not playing. And Dicey came in and I weren't still playing. And he was trying to sell me. And I'm still training, but I'm not going in on Mondays. No, fuck that. I don't need to go in on a Monday.
Did you make this?
Yeah,
decision?
this was. I had 19 cats that died that Monday on Mondays, bro. Yeah, my cats died. I can't come in. I'm sick. I can't come in. I go in on Tuesday because I know we got Wednesday off. Yeah. I'm in that space at the bottom. But the problem is, and the reason I say all that is, again, it's not to show off. It's to say that's the headspace. But now I'm drinking as well. Okay. So I never had a drink until I was 18. Till I was 19. Sorry.
So we'll go back. So seeing your pops drink. Did that play a part?
Nah, I just never really liked it.
Okay.
I don't like cigarettes.
No, I'm talking about, so you know you didn't drink?
Yeah.
So then...
I just didn't like it.
You just didn't like... Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I just didn't understand why you needed to have a drink to forget everything until I had a drink.
Until you had a drink.
And then I forgot everything. I was like, now A and B makes sense. So anyway, and then turn of the year, we sell Marvis Ordell to Bolton. I don't think I'd scored up until this point, January. and we played Millwall, and it was Joe Garner that was starting, and he dropped Marvin, like, in my recollection of it, he dropped Marvin there, and he was like, who's going to step up and score the goals? And apparently he was looking out, but I just went, fucking me. And it was kind of like, oh, not we forgot Troy, but he's never really spoke like that. Played me, beat Millwall, I score. It was 1-2-0, me and Joe scored. But I went on a run from then in Jan to the end of the year, I scored 12 goals in 18 games, let's say. But once I started scoring, I was still out. So I'm out. Bear in mind, when I'm out, and this is not an exaggeration, you could ask the people, I was out Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You played Saturday?
Yeah. But let me just say that again. I'm out Tuesday night, I'm out Thursday night, I'm out Friday night, I'm out Saturday night, I'm out Sunday night.
You know the reason why I'm not so crazy in them things? Because it was always the day of a game. As long as I got sleep in the day of a game, I was blessed.
Nah, it's calm because you get home about 2 on a Friday.
That's why. So that's the reason why I said you play Saturday.
Yeah.
So all the ones prior, I was like, yeah, cool, man.
Nah, get home about 2 Saturday, sleep till 10, get into the training.
So you drinking at this time?
Yeah. Oh, I'm drinking heavy.
You're drinking heavy.
Yeah. So I'm drinking. We made a drink called the Incredible Hulk, which was like 2 double brandies, 2 double hypnotics, and just go. Turns green.
So at this time, and you're scoring goals?
Yeah. But this is the problem. I'm scoring goals. I'm still living that life. So everyone thinks I'm sick. And I'm scoring. So you can't tell me now doing that is wrong for that. Because the equation isn't adding up. I'm still going out. I'm still turning up. I'm coming in on Mondays now. But I'm hurting on Mondays. But I'm coming in. I'm getting it through. I remember going into work one day on a Wednesday. I went out on a Tuesday. Yeah, we did a night out in Leeds, and I got bottled on a night out. I had to go into work the next Wednesday and say to Mapsy, like, just elbow me in it, because I still had glass in my head. Do you get what I mean? So the second I pulled that out and it starts bleeding, jump for a header with Maps. Then they stitch it up, and then the guys go, "There's glass in there." I was like, I don't know how that's gone in. Do you know what I mean? But that was...
Bobby, you're a calculated individual.
Yeah, but I'm not going to let you know I was out. Well, I'll let you know I was out, but I'm not going to let you know that happened. So, but anyway, fast forward now, we find out my dad's got cancer. My dad never cried at it. He was like, all right, cool. Drop me to the pub. I'm like, Dad, but the man say, like, you're going to pass away. He's like, no, just drop me to the pub.
Was you there when he found out?
He asked me to take him, yeah. So I drove him. And he said, whatever you hear, this is how I knew something was wrong. He said, whatever you hear, don't show no weakness. So I don't know, like, now whether that was a macho man thing or whether that was if you cry, I'll cry. And, do you know what I mean? But whichever way it happened, none of us cried. And obviously, because I'd just gone through that with my granddad, I kind of knew the questions and the things to ask. And do you get what I'm saying? So anyway, we do all of that. We wrap it all up, drop him to the pub. And he's like, I'll call you tomorrow. And I was like, fuck it, then I'll go out. Because if he's not stressed about it, I'll go out. And then I go out, get way too drunk. And I want to be very, very clear on this part. Whenever we talk about this situation, it is not to glorify me because there is a victim on the end of it, and there's several victims on the end of it. So I want to be very clear. The reason I tell this story is so that people will avoid it, not to... Because I'm really conscious, that there's somebody who that's affected, and they hear me talk about it, and do you know what I mean? Like, they're dealing with that wound or wounds, or, do you know what I'm saying? And the guy who did it is now celebrated for that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I don't get that. That's not what.
No, but I just want.
You're just putting. That's cool.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that that's always that, because obviously the person I was then versus the person I am now, that wouldn't have happened. But basically, I just lost my head, bro. Just lost my head, and now it's anger, rage, hurt, abandonment. Do you know what I mean? I'm losing my dad. I've lost my granddad. I've lost my nan. Like, bro, like, what have I done wrong?
What have I done wrong? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I come from a place where you don't talk about those things. You drink in it. You drink and you crack on. And but I will say this, that moment in life was meant to be.
I hear what
Because
you're
if I
saying.
didn't do that, by the end of that season, I'd have been dead.
Okay, from
Drink driving, the places I was going, the fights I was getting into, the people I was rubbing up the wrong way. You name it. Everything you shouldn't do,
you was doing.
I was doing.
Okay, so then you get convicted.
Yeah.
You get sentenced to how long?
10 months. My dad dies the 31st. My court date, original court date, was the 2nd of June. So we asked for permission to push it back because obviously I didn't want anyone, kids, mom, whoever, see me. There's a chance I probably wouldn't have made it to the funeral anyway if I got locked up, because it ended up being a couple of weeks after. So anyway, they give us dispensation, pushed it back, bury my dad on the Friday, go to jail on the Monday.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So, what happened at football? So, at this
That
point,
was the hardest part. For me, in that whole process, genuinely, hardest part, telling Daishi.
Is it? So what did he say?
Because he tested me and I'd basically fallen out of favour and I'd gone full circle with him. He didn't trust me, didn't like me, but just knew I had potential, but I was wasting it and couldn't be bothered and all of that stuff. And it gone full circle to the point where he was like, oh my God.
This is my guy.
He's here now. I'm going to pour into this guy. And you know what I'm saying? And then I remember got nicked. Obviously, they didn't know I was a footballer or whatever. Bashed me up anyway, whatever. So then I've got to go into work the next day and tell him, innit? Like, that to me was worse than telling my mum and my dad. I remember telling my dad, but I was like, it's your first conviction. You'll be fine. That's how my dad had done it. He's like, you've only been in trouble once, isn't it? Yeah, you'll be fine. That was how my dad said it. My mum was panicking. And I was like, well, I tell Daishi, man. Fuck knows what he'll do.
And then, so do you know what? Because I think football's your hired help. I think it's ruthless.
Yeah.
So.
But Daishi was brilliant, bro.
So that So I want to. That's that bit where.
Yeah. So he called me in. So I went in. So that was when that Tuesday, Wednesday we were off. But I had to phone him and tell him because obviously they were going to put out the press. Blah 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 blah. So he was like, okay, just get in early Thursday. I said, Gaff, I don't know if I can train because I couldn't put a shoe on or anything like that. Obviously, they're whacking you with the cosh or whatever. I said, okay, cool. So coming Thursday, I'd managed to just put a shoe on, but you know when your ankle's like that. So he's like, all right, you're not going to train today. Spoke through. He's like, what could we do? What could we do to help you? I was like, I don't know, man. He's like, promise me till the season ends, you'll stay here. Like, you just stay, like, got me out of Birmingham, just stay down here.
In Watford, yeah.
And I was like, I will, but I found out my dad's got cancer. And you could see him just go like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, I know I've got to get you out of that place and who you're with and what you're doing, but I know you've got to go back. So he was like, and we did this like deal where it was like I'd stay down Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But then he would give me Sunday off. Like, even if we had a game on the Tuesday, he'd give me that Sunday off. And then what I found out after, so I've never actually told this part, is the board were trying to get rid of me. They were trying to terminate my contract. Obviously, didn't have to pay me the money, whatever. And Daishi basically went to bat for me on this team call. And basically was like, how could we call ourselves a community club when he needs a community and now we're going to throw him out?
Love that, Daishi. Big up.
And I was like, oh, Jesus. I've always been giving him like just respect for what he did to me, but I didn't know that. So anyway, perfect storm, right? So I'm on a trajectory of like, I'm going to self-implode, I'm going to destroy, I'm dead in it by the end of the year. I'm not looking after my son. I'm doing the thing that most parents think they do, because I'm buying him stuff. I'm throwing money in the way of absence.
Yeah. Justifying it to yourself. Yeah.
But long story short, I'm not being who I need to be. So I get locked up on the Monday. Perfect storm and the realization that this thing was meant to happen. And I do believe in a higher power. So like, I think this was meant to happen, right? I get locked up, Watford get bought. So in the midst of Watford being bought over, new ownership, blah, 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 they bought in 42 players that summer.
While you was locked up?
While I'm locked up. So nobody...
And you're still under contract with them?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nobody at any point goes, where's the number 9? So bear in mind, fast forward now from June to September when I come out, the end of August, you know, when you could finally do the last change for the numbers and this and the other. I think Vidra was like, why can't I be number 9? And they were like, I don't know, why can't you be number 9? Who is number 9? And then they've gone, oh, he's in jail. But at this point, they've not done the first letter. They're not going to be a written warning. They've not given me nothing. So it was going to take 3 weeks for that process to at least get rid of me. I was coming home in 10 days.
Oh, shit.
So then...
God out here works in mysterious
ways. And then Gianfranco
ways.
Zola said he was at the game the year before where we played West Ham at Upton Park, and I played really well. We lost 2-0, but I played really well. And he said, oh, no, wait. Let me just speak to him. So I got the message 10 days before I was coming out. Bear in mind, in jail, I'm 300 press-ups a day.
That's what I was going to chat to you about. Yeah, don't speed over that, bro. So you're in prison.
Yeah.
So so the day you get
He didn't know I was in jail. He thought I was at football camp. So I had to phone home every day at 6 o'clock. So my dad's at football camp. Bear in mind, he's free.
Yeah.
But it's easier to lie to. But dad's at football camp. And, I'll be home. The only reason he knew I was in jail was someone at school told you, didn't they? But years later.
So just paint me that first night. The first night you got into...
The first 2 weeks was fine. And the reason it was fine is because I was in Winston Green Jail in Birmingham. And all my friends from home were there. So as soon as you go into the jail, you go into like a holding cell to figure it all out, spend the night there, it's whatever. I'll be honest, bro, the biggest part about it was you walk in, I think it's a 6x12 or whatever. It's tight anyway. There's a bunk bed, there's a guy on the bunk bed, and all I could see was he was there and the shitter was there. And I was thinking, anyhow, one of us need to go. This is so compromising. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, at first I said to him was like, when do we use the toilet? Because we ain't doing this, do you know what I mean? And he was like, look, when they bring food round or if it's time for a call, then you go at those times. I said, all right, cool. Spent the night with him. And it turned out his baby mum was in my class at school. That's it.
So it wasn't that whole bang, I punch in your face. Just
No,
in
it
case
was just
straight.
like...
you see it in films and
yeah,
that.
but genuinely to me, it was like, this is where I'm comfortable. And it's so horrible to say, because you ain't going nowhere. Think about it. Like, think about your dad's dead. Think about you left your little man at home. You said you're the man, you're the provider. Now like Mapsy's lending me 10 grand to cover the bills. Do you get me? And I'll always champion it for it. He doesn't like me saying it, but I'll champion for it because he didn't have to do it. He didn't know me. He didn't have to do that.
Those 2 weeks. So did you make a decision yourself saying, you know what, I'm telling you now?
Nah, not then.
No?
Not then. So I'm in Winston Green there for the first 2 weeks. I say I got friends in there. I'm being looked after. Life's good. When I came in, and obviously you have to do the picture and all that, and they were like, Deeney, like, know that name? So I used to play football, and it's like, nah, Berkey's son, ain't ya? That was my dad, ain't it? I was like, yeah. And they were like, you're going to be fucking trouble. And just threw the like little card thing at me, like your little, so you know who you are. Yeah. Threw that at me. I was thinking, fucking hell, it's a bit mad. And then we go into to the gym, and then obviously the guard said the same. And I've said this story, and I saw the twins. It would have been my dad's 60th in March, so we had a little thing for him. So my dad was 47 when he died.
Oh shit,
so
he was young.
Yeah, so obviously we had a little thing that would have been his 60th, and the twins were there, and they said, fucking hell, like, you remembered that story. So basically I'm in the gym, and obviously I'm comfortable now. It's a few days in, I know people, no one's really giving me a hassle. I'm like, I'm not showing out by any stretch, but I'm kind of a little bit too happy to be in jail than you should be.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And I remember the twins come in and their face like switched. And I was like, yo, like to me, and they were like, fuck you doing in here? And then I was like, I just got into this tear up, and it was like this and this.
Twins are your pops' brethren?
Yeah. Okay. Older guys.
So
they're older. Yeah, pops'
friends. In case
friends.
they don't know what
brethren
is.
pops' friends that obviously did their thing with him and that. So I said, yeah. And they were just like, the whole time, they were just like looking at me, but do you know when they're like, did we just do him now? And then I could sense that, and I was kind of like, and my whole demeanour changed. And I'm like, does your dad know you here? If your dad knows you, I would have obviously go back to their room, make a phone call. If he says, we're going to fill you in, I don't know why you're walking around like that. And I was like, oh, bro, like, Dad's dead. They were like, what? I said, yeah, Dad died last Friday. Oh, shit. Their whole thing dropped. They obviously start crying. They're like, look, whatever mistake you've made, you're good in here, but your dad will be turning his grave that you're in here. You know how many times he was in this place saying, fucking, my son's this and my son's that, and now you're in here with us. Like, we didn't have a choice. I think that's wrong personally. I think everyone has a choice, but we didn't have a choice. This was our way out, and we did this, but we knew what we were getting into. You got out, and you wanted to be a bad man. He's like, if you work for your dad, I'd fill you in right now, show you what a bad man is. That's when it's like, oh.
So that pinnacle moment.
It was, but like it didn't make me go. It didn't make me go, oh, football. It made me go like, yeah, you're right. Like, this bad man thing is fucking stupid. And then I get shipped up, so they knock on the door. Bob, you're moving jail. What? Like, my dad didn't talk to us about jail. We didn't know jail was a thing. When my dad went, we got letters from Singapore. Like, we didn't know, he was away working. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So fuck knows where he got these postcards, but he was creative and Singapore, and I'll be home soon. And when I'm back, you'll get this and that. And obviously, when Dad used to come home, we'd get like 100 quid each, and he'd take us Mackies, and we'd have a new tracksuit. So every time Dad went away, it was a good thing to us. It was a good thing to it. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, they knock the door. Yo, you moving? Moving jail? I'm like, where? They're like, just get your stuff. Like, you pack your little bag, you go into this room. You know, the vans you see on the motorway, the white vans, and they got the little black windows.
Black windows, you can't see out.
Bro, I'm in this thing. I woke up 2 and a bit hours later. I'm in Warrington. I don't know anyone I don't even know where Warrington is. I'm up there, I'm in a jail. And it's like Butlins. I'm like, you can come and go as you please.
Out the jail?
No, like, walk around the jail. You got a key, you got like... And everyone in there is coming home from long stretches. Do you get what I mean? And I'm like, literally the guy was like, if you're going to run away, just put your key down. It costs us too much to do it. I'm like, run where, bro? Like, I don't even know where I am. And in there, they made me, because I'm trying to get my tag at this point. They said I needed to do alcohol awareness course, drug awareness course, even though I've never taken drugs, but the people that I was around, the marijuana was in my system, so I had to do that. And then I had to do counselling. I had to do 1 session of therapy. It would like tick these boxes that would get me through. And that was the moment then. No, sorry, that was a caveat into the moment. And then the guy, and I always give credit, Mr. Appleton, the jail, we used to call him Screws, but jail officer, whatever he is, he said to me, right, they had Calvin Atuhu in the same jail a couple of years before from Man City. Yeah. He was like, you're not going to do what he did. You're going to work in the gym 10 hours a day. And every time you clean the gym down, and it's like an hour break. So they'll clean the gym down, hour break, next lot come in. So in that hour break, we're going to work you. So every day then I ran for an hour, clean the gym down. They'd give me like a protein shake. Second hour, I'd do upper body. Third hour, I'd do legs. Every for 10 weeks.
Okay.
And then it's the Olympics. It's 2012 Olympics. So they then put like Olympic stuff on outside. I don't know if you've ever had to chase criminals, yeah? That'll make you a lot quicker. Yeah. Because I was humbled so quick when I'm thinking, I'm a pro athlete. These can't keep. These like used to running from people, dogs, you name it. So we made me do the 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, 800 meters, and the relay on the same day.
So, question: are you still getting paid by your?
Nope.
Are you still thinking about football?
Nope.
So at this point now, this is just day-to-day life. You're doing this to get out.
I just said, and I'm actually glad he's here because I don't think he's ever heard this, but I just said, when I get home, he'll never be this unproud of me again.
I feel you.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I hear it.
It's actually getting me upset. I don't do emotion, but that's my boy.
The maddest thing is,
You know what I
bruv,
mean?
do emotion, because this is what it is, bruv. Talking is, and I was going to talk about the therapy thing, because for me, look, we're fathers now, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it just hits different. And having your boy here, and I'm hearing you talk, and I was going to touch on this part later, but you segued into it. So, how different are you, or the same, from how your pops was to you in regards to exploring emotions in that you are to your son?
I'm not very good personally.
Nah.
But
You're emotional. We've been through stuff together. But you're emotional.
I am emotional in terms of my actions. Do you get what I mean? But in terms of like, I can't see people cry and get emotional.
Nah.
No, I can't
To be
really
fair,
cry
saying that,
myself.
I've-
Like right now, yeah. If this was like in an alternate universe, I'll be bawling to you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm admitting all my flaws in front of myself. Do you know how much of an idiot that makes me feel right now?
But there's you.
But I'm just saying in an alternate
Yeah, I
universe.
feel
But
you.
the fact of the matter is, this is who your dad is. This is what I did. But you know, you were there. You lived it. Do you know what I mean? You see, I've come through the other side.
Yeah. That's for me. It's the definite. For me, I'm in awe.
Nah, don't do that.
Brother,
Don't do that.
listen,
Please.
the maddest thing is because, bruv, you know my story.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
sat
yeah, of
down and
course.
you know
I've
my
read your
stories,
book,
and we've gone
everything,
through
yeah.
trials and tribulations. And it's not that I'm downplaying
No, of
my
course,
trials
I
and
know what you're
tribulations,
saying.
but again, I'm hearing what your trials and tribulations, and it just, like I said, it's that thing where I'm like, fuck me, but I get it. Like, it's the craziest thing. I sit here and I'm like, but I get it.
Yeah.
So,
But
but
like,
it's the
go on.
definition of strength. You still can't take me. So I'm not blind. Yeah, you can't. But it's the definition of strength.
I don't know when to stop, man. I ain't gonna stop. And the reason I say I'm gonna stop is we've seen how many times have me and you bumped into each other at alternate definition, and you're like, bro, I see you here, I see you there.
Yeah.
I'm like, because do you know what? If I stopped, and this is me thinking and talking out loud, if I stopped and really thought about it, yeah, I probably would be depressed. I probably would be. I'd start to let all of those issues and things and the letdown, and you'd have to unpack them and develop. But the fact of the matter is, shit happens, innit, in life.
Yeah, I hear you.
And the one thing I'm only ever proud of, all this football shit don't mean nothing to me. The only thing I'm proud of is one there and there's three more at home. I mean, unconditionally proud of.
No, and I get that, but see, you as an individual, and I know you, this is the way you are, and you're saying that, look, if I unpacked it, I'll turn around and be like, shit, I went through so much, but yet still I saw the light. And you said in regards to about faith, and my faith is everything to me, and I always say that.
I believe in higher power. Obviously, I grew up Christian. My dad was Muslim, so I understand both faiths and understand that how it all works, all that. But if I sat here and said to you, I went to church every week, I'd be lying. If I sat here and said I read the Bible every week, I'd be lying.
Yep.
But do I believe? Think about the things we've spoken about,
Yeah.
How can I not believe that someone has got a better destiny for me than I already know what's happening?
But you was meant to be here. You was meant to inspire those. So God picks these soldiers, bruh. Everything happened how it was supposed to happen.
Course.
And we know that.
Of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
I hear you on
look,
that. The one little thing I will say that this is kind of like a men's mental health thing. Me and a friend of mine, I won't say his name, but me and a friend of mine, not in football, it's a normal bloke, gone through ish, yeah. You said, his words, not mine. God gives his hardest troubles to his greatest soldiers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, do you think though? And he's like, yeah, because the difference between us as soldiers / warriors, and again, you're probably going to think, Troy's calls up, but whatever, and normal civilians who have done the right thing, gone to school, gone to uni, is that when something happens, they don't know how to bend and bounce. He said, but a soldier bends and bounces. You have to know something comes, you have to bend to duck it, or you have to bounce because he just slammed you off the floor. And it's like, you're going to stay down there, you're going to get the fuck back up.
The emotion you're shine is for me.
Let's talk football, man.
You know,
It's gone too deep. Let's talk football.
So June came out in September.
Yeah.
Pre-season, so season's a month in. Zola hollers at you and says, all right, boom.
I've told you that story, don't I?
Nope.
So first day in, I'm off tag, yeah? So first day home, obviously you have to stay in, they do the tag, they do this, you know, to give you time, your visitation, etc. So the second day, bear in mind I had a trim for 4 months, yeah? This is when the hair could grow. So I had an afro, and I was wham, I'm not gonna lie. It kind of felt like you did, you know, when your tops don't really fit, but you're still forcing them on.
It's hard when you hedge.
Yeah, it's one of them ones. So anyway, I was wham anyway. Go in, and I'm on tag. I was meant to get a haircut, but I was like, just drop me. Because I still didn't really know if I was meant to be in it. Okay. But I'm me, innit? I'm going to just
go in and
see what happens, innit? So anyway, I go in. They just finished training. I see the gaffer. And I was like, hey, coach, nice to meet you. Legend. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, coming off. He's like, right, listen, I want you to come into work tomorrow. Watch the stipulations. And these times I was 7 till 7. So I was like, look, I live in Birmingham, 7 o'clock, but I can leave the house at 7 o'clock. So I'll be in the car at 7 o'clock. It takes me an hour and 34 minutes to get here. I'll be in this training ground at 8:34. And then I will leave here. The latest I can leave is 5 o'clock because I can't not be home in it. But I promise you I'll be in from 8:34 till 5 every single day. And he was like, okay. He said, just want to let you know, like, again, I think you're a good player, but we've got 8 strikers at this moment in time. Ooh. So you're going to be 9. And we had like Chris Iwelumo, Joe Gardner, Vidra. We had good players.
Good players.
And, bro, on my life, I don't know where this arrogance came from. I just giggled. Anyone know? Did I? Because obviously his English isn't great. He's like, did I say something wrong? I said, no. He says, you thought I was number 9. That was funny. I said, give me a week. And he said, okay, yeah, no problem. Let's go. Go home. Next day, I'm in 8:34. I trained before training, did the training session, ran, did a gym session, ate, come home every day for 10 days straight. And I remember Fitzall, I don't know if you know Fitzy, but if you ever get him on, he'll tell you.
I've come across
so
this, yeah.
I go out to run. Bear in mind, I'm running with the tag at it. So I got my tag on. I got no top on. I just look like something at the longest yard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a bad boy image.
I just look like I should not be around. Do you know what I mean? So anyway.
Have you had a trim by this time?
No. Still big afro out, whamming.
So just before you go on, because I've been in a changing room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And been generally, because of my size,
yeah.
I'm always walking. I don't have to say nothing. My energy speaks before me. Do you know what I'm saying? How did the changing room take to you? Not how you took to the changing room, because now...
Genuinely, couldn't tell you. I didn't see them.
Nah?
I didn't see them. They were in the way.
So let me ask a question, and you can answer it now as you're at the game. So would you say you was a liked person in the changing room, player to player?
I hope not.
So your whole thing was going in there that...
I hope you didn't like me.
So your teammates, you was on... That was your ream?
No, don't get me wrong. I don't want anyone to be fearful of me.
Okay, yeah.
But if you liked me, that means that our place of work wasn't a place of work. And like I said, you will respect me, or I'll make you respect me.
So that's how you was.
But how can I go into work? This is the bit again. I look at things completely different, right? We're in a striker room. I think we spoke about this before. There's me. I'm starting. You're on the. Let's go the way. You're starting. I'm on the bench. We've got the 3rd striker. We've got the 4th striker. How can we all pretend that we're friends when you've got the job we all want?
See, but you know how, man, we've discussed this, so I'll get back. There was no striker that qualms me.
Yeah.
It was the manager. For me, I would always, my mindset was, once I play, I'm playing. So in the end, I ain't got to dislike you because I'm better than you or will be.
Nah,
that's how I was.
Again, like, I might say, I don't dislike you.
No.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Sorry.
I want to be really clear.
Yeah.
It's not, we could be respectful. We can have laughs and jokes, but let's not fuck around there. Let's call it as it is, innit?
Okay.
If you're not competing against me, you don't deserve to be in this room. That's how I used to look at it. So let me just go back to when I come in at number 9, right?
Yeah.
So when I go in, this is to paint the perfect picture. there was 4 changing rooms because there was 42 players at Watford at this point.
I tell you that,
So there's 4 changing rooms for the people, right? Obviously, I'm in before everybody. So I used to get changed in the car, take my clothes home, do you know what I mean, just change it myself. So yeah, long story short, I go out to do a run with Jack, the fitness guy. And he's like, right, we're going to just see where you are, get a base layer. I was like, nah, fuck that, let's push it. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm fit, man, I've been running. We're going to push it to the limit. So I don't need you to get me fit. I need you to get me football fit. And you know there's a big difference between fit and football fit.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go out to run. It's a warm day, so I start running. There's an 11v11 on this pitch. The manager has an 11 doing shape for the weekend. Wow. And then there was 7 players injured.
Wow.
And then there was like 3 or 4 dotted around, like just coming back from injury today. So I remember anyway, I'm running. We're pushing it now. And I remember Fitzy was like, "Rah, my man thinks he's out of mean machine." Remember, me and him have never spoken before. I started laughing. And then we get chatting and understanding it. But I had Fitzy, I had Nyron Nosworthy. Maps had left at that summer. Lloyd Doyley was there. Chris Uwalumu, Cole Dickinson, Eusty was still there. It was a good. I'm just trying to pick Marco Cassetti, like good lads. I think we signed Almunia as well that year. Yeah, we did. We signed Almunia that year. So Manu was in there as well. So like good, solid pros. I don't think they were scared of me by any stretch. Fitzy and Nugsy weren't, because obviously they're the lads. They understand. But the other guys were a little bit like, this ain't normal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
to be fair, even me, it wouldn't be normal to me. I'd be like,
So to answer your question, was I liked? I think if you really know me, and I think you really know me to a point, like I'm actually happy-go-lucky 90% of the time. But when it's time to work, let's work, man.
No, that's what I get.
And like in the change room, I'm up for I'm all for banter, I'm all for jokes, I'm all for whatever it might be. But when it's time to work, so if we've got a meeting at 10 and you're walking in at 55, like what the fuck you been doing that's so important that you should be there at 10 to? Like me spoke about this, you would piss me off.
Yeah, but because
he comes in at a minute 2. I'm
bruv.
I've been in rooms, and the lads will tell you this. I've shut the door, and the manager's like, "Oh no, we'll wait." I said, "No, you said the meeting starts at 10. It's 10. Start."
So let me ask you a question.
But we got 4 players.
Was managers scared of you? Do you think managers were intimidated by you?
I think first of all, they don't know me, so you get a preconception of me, similar to yourself.
Yeah.
So you don't know me. You go, he's been at the club a long time, been to jail, he's outspoken anyway. I'm gonna have to manage him.
Yeah.
And the only person that like took me on, I suppose, and challenged me was Nigel Pearson.
Oh, okay.
That was it. And if you know me, there isn't a challenge. You're the boss. There's a hierarchy. So you tell me how you want this to be, and that's how it's got to be. But it's not you tell me how I've got to be. You tell me how everyone's got to be. Because if I see you say to me, you've got to be an on time, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, or you don't play. But now Bayo can come in when he wants, train whatever day he wants. Oh, no. Now we've got a problem. Because you said these were the rules and stipulations to play for your football team. Why is he any different?
The worst thing is, I hear it. For me, I think you are on your path, and we've had this back and forth. So, and I respect it. I think if we was generals, we general separately, we differently.
Yeah.
So,
but what again? So obviously, so anyway, that first year, obviously, we got to that Leicester goal and so on and so forth.
Cool. But listen, I know you spoke about this a plethora of time and think everybody's heard it. No, because the world's massive. So rein it in. So you sign and you're in the champ. So you come out of pen.
I'll come out of jail with the championship.
All right. So now...
sorry, I didn't even finish that. So anyway, 10 days, I said to a minute. So I remember at the end of that week, there was a game against QPR at their training ground, and they had quite a big squad. I think it was in the Prem at the time. So they had like Sean Wright-Phillips, and he was coming back from injury, and we played, and I scored. And this is when because I made that decision that I'm not going to let the little man down ever again. And then I made the decision once I'd come out now that Zola's kind of said I'm ninth. So it's like, well, now I'm making the decision that I'm starting in it.
Cool.
Like, you're going to understand that Troy's back in business. So anyway, we played a game a couple of days after that because they kind of said, "No, like he's fit, like he just needs reps and all of that." So I played this game against QPR. Scored. I remember speaking to Mark Hughes, and he was like, "Just get your head together, son." Blah 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 blah. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." That Saturday, I'm on the bench against Bristol City. 7 days after being released on tag.
Oh, say nothing.
Come off the bench, only like 10 minutes, but that was the story of the game. It wasn't anything other than like, how was the fan reception got to be to me?
How was it?
I remember them telling me, because I had a vest on underneath, thanking the jail. And everyone was like, "Don't do that."
I would have said the same thing, big
They
man.
were like, but I was like, "But you lot don't understand, yeah, because for the 14 weeks I was in jail for, right? I was phoned home, but I'm still trying to be the man, and I can't let them know, yo, I'm struggling at it. I can't do, and then I've lost my dad, so I can't. So what I found in that space, and I'm still friends with a couple of people from there to this day. Those guys got me through it.
No, sorry, I'm not taking anything
No,
away.
but
Thank
in
them,
my head, that was how it was.
That's what you was
How
trying
are they
to-
going to do it? I'm going to write them a letter. No, it was like, they're going to see this in my head. I'm going to score. They're going to see this in the paper, and now that's going to give them a motivational reason to fix up and get out. That was the intention.
That's what you had.
Thankfully, I came on for like 6-7 minutes. Didn't score. Didn't get sent off. Like it was nothing. I was like, cool. Now I'm off to the races, isn't it? The following week, 14 days after, play Huddersfield. I'm starting. Scored a winner. Can't chat to me now.
Was there any doubt, even though you'd made your decision when you came on, that there was an element of, not nerves, because we always get nervous, of fear of playing, coming back through all what you've got, all what you've gone through. Now you're coming back on the pitch and it's in front of everybody.
Now this is going to be fun.
It was more fun. Like, so that mindset never changed. Yeah. So your mindset, football's always
been fun. Yeah,
this
is never not going to be fun. Now, do you get the emotional roller coaster of things happening, contracts, relegation, all of that? Of course, yeah. But at the core, I am going to enjoy myself. And the hardest thing I have to do is work hard. Do you get me?
I get it. So then that season,
that season's running on now. And I remember that game at Huddersfield. We had a kid called Tommy Holborn who had to retire very early. I think it was ankles or something. But he was an unbelievable player. And if he would have stayed fit, I have no doubt he would have played in the Prem. Very, very good. And I remember he had his first start, and I was having my first start of the season. But it was his first career start.
Yeah.
And this goes back to the leadership part. I think in that moment, I was like, right, I'm going to play. I'm going to show everyone I'm going to score. But he was having like a panic attack. He was asthmatic as well. So he must have had about 20 pumps of this asthma pump. And instantly, my true nature come back like, yo, don't worry. I've got you. Just stay here. First pass, kick it long. I'll chase it. Don't try to play short. First header, do that. He had about 20 pumps. Then he had about 50 pumps at half time. Anyway, he gets through his first game. We win. But then instantly from that moment then, because I'd scored and we'd won, in my head it's done now. Do you know what I mean? It's done now. We ain't got to talk about I'm playing on tag. I'm playing on tag. You've said it 2 weeks ago. You ain't got to talk about prison now because I'm back and I'm scoring. All we got to worry about now is how do we go? How do we get up? How do we get promoted? How does this look? How does this feel?
So first game, sorry, just to cut you. So that first game there was, I got to put everything into this to make this go right, and then the rest, it can just follow suit.
Yeah. Yeah, but it weren't thinking long term. It was like, I'll just shut you lot up, and now I can do what I do.
I can do me.
It was a fun time, man.
When
I come back.
So
bear in mind, I'm in every time at 7 o'clock. I'm in at 7 o'clock.
How long was you on tag for?
Another 3 months.
Okay.
But I'm putting him to bed. Do you know what I mean? I'm waking up now early. I'm doing the simple things. They're fine. I'm in bed by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I get it.
And at 22, if you'd have told me that at 21, no chance. I'd just be getting ready to go out. Do you know what I mean? The days off we had, I'd still go into work. Or if I had to stay home, I'd take him to school. I'd run back from school. I'd go to the gym. I'd go swimming. I'd get back. I'd eat. I'd go and pick him up from school. I'd walk the dog.
So now you're 3 years in the champ. Is that correct? So now
Yeah, that's my third year. Sorry, yes.
So that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
third.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
then, of course,
never really thought of it like that.
so
yeah.
we're gonna have to talk that iconic. Well, it's iconic, Deeney.
It's
So
lovely.
you're
It's like we just literally. I just took the kids to trampoline park this morning, and he's at the point now. He's like, oh.
that's it.
But there's like what 10, 15 kids like, Didi, here's a hug. Didi, can I get a picture? And it's like you have to be at a point where you're humble enough and gracious enough that moment lives on, right?
Yeah. It's an iconic moment.
But it is also a case of like, this is me, right? This is me. Now I appreciate it more. But at that time and for like 10 years after, all I think about is that we lost the game after.
I get you. No, I hear it because that's you.
But only now, like my son's 5,
Yeah.
he started watching it. I think it's doing the rounds on TikTok, and do you get what I mean? You got kids remaking the goal, and like it's a nice thing, innit?
Yeah.
But if you asked me at the time, or for like the 10
yeah.
years after, I was like, we lost in the final, bro.
For us, we only get that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we live in that moment of you score it, Petty down, Deeney, top off. That's the moment. You know what I'm saying? The bit
But
then.
the two games before, sorry to cut you, encapsulate me as a person.
Talk to us.
So we played Leeds, and if we beat Leeds, we got promoted. I got sent off in that game. So when you need me the most, I'm probably going to fuck it up somehow.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, boom. So now, because I find you do that, you enlighten the negative bits of you. So, and you think at your core, this is how it comes across.
Yeah.
At your core is you're going to fuck up. That's how you talk.
No, that's fair. If that's
Maybe
how
that's
it's
a bit
coming across, that's coming
brutal
across.
in regards,
No, but
but
it's true.
the reason why I'm trying to get across is that, we learn way more from our
Some
setbacks.
mistakes, of course.
We
of
learn-
course.
so-
but what if you let me do the free games, I think you'll understand what I was saying. So the first one, Leeds, we probably should have beat Leeds, and I'd already scored. I'd already got 19 at that point. Leicester goal was the 20th. So I'm in a position where it's like, I'm confident, I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going into games and not thinking if I can score. It's like how
When
many?
I'm gonna
how
score.
no? How
Yeah,
many am I going
yeah.
to score? So anyway, in that I kind of had my Paul Gascoigne moment. I was like really emotional, like chasing everything down. 2 crappy yellows. Michael Brown, I do love Brown. He's a good lad, but he got me sent off because he knew just to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I got sent off.
Experienced,
I got sent
yeah.
off in the first half.
Okay.
So obviously we lose that game, and I'm sat in the corner, and lads are coming in, and they're letting you know, you cost us, and and you got to hold it.
Yeah.
Again, younger me would have fired back. This point, I'm like, okay. I remember this is when I knew Nathaniel Chalobah was going to be great, because at 17, I believe he was. He came in the dressing room and was like, "Can't believe you let us down. If we had you, we win." And I'm thinking, you're 17, who the fuck are you talking to? But I'm also smiling going, yeah, you're right.
Fair play.
You're right.
It's powerful moments sometimes.
And then the next game, we played Leicester in the playoffs at Leicester. I should have been with my team. I should have been in the dressing room. I should have been doing all of that stuff. I did Sky Sports.
Okay.
I was chasing the money because I think I got like $1,000 for doing it. I'm like, I've got to be there anyway. I might as well get paid to do it. That was the
I sit on the
mindset.
fence with that.
No, I'm so wrong because I should have been with my team.
No,
But
I'm sorry. I'm sit on the fence in regards. I get what you're saying because it didn't work out. Mm-hmm. So hindsight, you'll turn around. But I also sit on the fence in regards to Sky Sports is also an individual opportunity for you. Of course, if it went the right way, you'd have been like, yeah, I'm there and I'm bigging up the club and it's because of my name. And so there's.
No, but at this point, bear in mind at the start of that year, again, you're in jail. So you shouldn't be doing more to raise attention to you, is how I'm looking at it. So anyway,
pause. But also, you are showing where you started the year to where you are and what you can do to change that. And there's so many man them that will be resonated that will be like, wait, hold on, I swear this brother was in pen at the beginning of the year.
So the best part about it, right? So the man's talking. I forget the guy who was on it. It was an ex-Leicester legend. I forget who it was who was on there. And they were 1-0 up. And Vidra had gone through this mad spell. Like he got like, I want to say he got 20 goals by January, and then didn't score.
Okay.
Until the second leg he gets 2.
Yeah.
And no one even talks about that because the goals there were crazy. But he went on this mad spell and then he missed a few chances. But I felt watching the game, like when I'm in, they can't stop me.
Yeah.
Like that's genuinely how I felt. They can't stop me. And right at the end of it, they were like, I think it might be Walsh, the centre back. Said to him, right, like Sky ends, like, right, so Bale, how do you think it's gonna go? And he was like, Leicester 1-0 up. There's no way they're gonna let this slip. I fancy Leicester to get through. Troy, what do you think? I said, you'll see, I'll score. And I just said it like that. Weren't arrogant. I said, oh, you'll see, I'll score. And then go to the game. I'm driving in. I'm speaking to my brother because that's who I jump into the crowd to. That's my little brother that catches me. And I said, I'm gonna score the winner. And I remember their centre back. So Wes Morgan, I got nothing but respect for Wes. Michael Keane, obviously still playing the Prem now. And I was just like, there is no way they can live with what I'm about to bring today. Yeah. No way. I'm ready, I'm focused, and I'm angry. And if you watch that game, I had a good game.
Yeah.
And then obviously the moment that everyone talks about is obviously the knockouts dived. Again, Michael Oliver, I say to him, I made him anyway, he should be thankful. You know what I mean? Me and Mike have that kind of laugh about it, but obviously he gives that shit pen, which wasn't a pen, but it's the whole, how he does when he's holding it down. And then obviously we go score. So I think I made him and he thinks he made me. So it was a great moment, man. And like at that time, you didn't really appreciate it, but now you're older and you see the YouTube footage and you see like, there's one that's a crowd, one that someone's in the crowd, but it's at the end we score and it's like a wave of emotion and then it's like bang.
Sick.
Score.
Well, it's sick.
The next year I scored 25 and we finished 14th.
Then on the third season you got promoted.
Yeah, but that summer...
3 seasons in a row you got 20 plus.
Yeah.
Say nothing, just let me salute that to you. Do you know what I'm saying?
I signed a contract to that year to Leicester because I was out of contract in the summer as well. So I went from, I've told you before, I went on $5,000 a week to like 24. And I remember we was looking for a property at the time and I was still looking on Chelmsford to buy a property. And then I got that contract and I was like, all right, let's go. And I moved out to Solihull. I bought like a £1 million+ house, which obviously everyone does now, but 2012, that was kind of a big deal for me. And
but it's still a big deal now because
and then I remember in that summer, Villa wanted me, Newcastle wanted me, Celtic wanted me, Werder Bremen wanted me. I was kind of hot property. I'm 24. Everyone's not forgot about jail, but that's not even being spoken about.
Yeah, man, you scored
and
goals,
I scored 45 goals 45 goals in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So people were like, there was all that. And I remember having a chat with Watford. And then Watford did the cardinal sin for me. My birthday is June 29th. So I normally have a very good birthday, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And then I come back to work on the 1st of July. So it's all out my system. It's out my system. Yeah. I'm a lot heavier than I should be.
But it is what it is.
But for the first 10 days, leave me alone in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my fat suit on. I'm going to do my stuff. I'm going out early in the running test. Don't worry about that. But come game of the season, I'm ready.
Yeah.
So because we finished so badly, and they were adamant that they wanted to get promoted, they took us back to work the 14th of June.
Oh, that's early.
We went Austria for a week. Straight from Austria to Udine. No, Udine for a week, straight to Austria for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I already know that them 3 weeks were hell.
That was stress.
Yeah.
And then, this was the best part. I don't really talk about this, but it's perfect for you. So they were like, because I used to play at like 94, 95 kilo. But I'd go back around 112, 113-ish.
It's a very good summer.
It's a great summer.
Cause
but what we had come to understand was, I'm going to kill myself for 10 months, be disciplined, do it. I was still going out having a good time, but more from a nutrition, from a weight point of view. And because we had Italian owners, it was very weight specific.
Okay.
They put a nutritionist in, and first day you step on the scales, I'm 113, 114. And he's like, and footballers, most footballers are 70 to 89.
You're 113, man. I used to surpass that way because they
no,
just
but I'm saying,
that.
Everybody else.
Footballers were. Yeah,
75 to the highest would be 89, maybe 90 max.
I don't even know if we even had many 90s.
Yeah. So obviously the guys seeing these numbers and they will have to report to the owner, innit? So they've gone to me, right, gonna diet. I was like, yeah, cool, that's what I do,
That's
innit?
what I do,
But
yeah.
no problem. So they were like, we're gonna diet. So the first 3 or 4 days now, they're bringing the food. And obviously the weight's coming off as it is, and we're training and rare. But someone must have thought it was a good idea to like think that I'm vegan or a rabbit or something. But these portions, they were coming out like this.
Because I already know.
So like by day 5, yeah, now I'm getting, you get tired anyway.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting aggy.
Hungry. Yeah.
And then we moved from Austria to Italy, and I'd got from 111, well, like 113, I was about 19 in a week. I'd done loads.
Done proper, yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool, because that's mainly water weight, that's fine. So obviously I've spoke to them now, like obviously that was week 1. We still got 8 weeks of pre-season.
Yeah.
So I'm like, right, we'll taper now, and then it will level up, and then it will drop again, because that's how I drop weight. I don't know if you're the same. So I do like 2 weeks of big, then I level off for 2 weeks, then I drop big again for the last 2. And then throughout the course of the season, whatever I am that first week of the season, I'm probably going to be somewhere that at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had to chat with him. Yeah, cool. We're going to get Eric, who's one of the interns. Eric's going to bring you food for you. It'll be fine. Yeah, cool. Bro, the portion size went from, let's say if it was half a plate to a quarter of a plate.
No.
And then the worst part about it is they were bringing my food, yeah, but I'm waiting now. So everybody else, as you know, it's buffet service. They're boom, they're eating the breads, they got the olive oil, they got this. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, where's my food?
Yeah.
This went on for 6 more days, yeah. So we're getting to the last week. Bear in mind, I know, because we've been running and that now, I'm doing extra sessions, I'm out on the mountain bikes. There's a spa 15 minutes down the road on a bike, because I've drove past it every single day. So I said to the fella, with the greatest respect, if my food is not here, when I get here first, if you've got me cutting, bear in mind now I'm down to like 102. In 2 weeks, I've done nearly 10 kilos.
Anyway, go on.
So I'm like, if my food is not first here, someone's getting it.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, Dave told this Eric now, they're cutting me one more time, food-wise. So he's brought the food over to me. I mean, you know, we see the doors over there.
Yeah, okay.
I've clocked him, and he's walking, but no joke, he's like this. He's holding the thing, shaking. I'm like, if that's my fucking food on there, and that's all of it, turn the fuck around now.
The boys must have been bantering you at this point, though.
Yeah, now they're all laughing now.
They must be laughing.
But at the same time, I'm still me, innit?
Yeah.
So they're laughing, but they're laughing from
they're
over
laughing
there. Yeah, they don't want to be near me.
Yeah.
So he's come over with this food, and this is it. And I've still got the mental picture of it. I had a bowl of salad, like leaves everywhere. I had a quarter piece of chicken. I had 4 pieces of pasta.
No.
You know the
Fusilier thing? You're lying to me, cuz. You're lying.
When have I ever lied to you?
Butter.
4 pieces of pasta. And I looked at it. I looked at him. I looked back at the food. And as I looked up, he was running.
But
on my life, he ran back out the door. And I went, am I a fucking prick?
Yeah.
And they were like, what? I went, oh, you think... I just flipped the table with the food. Everyone else's food went. I went to the thing, got my credit card, got on the bike, drove to Spa, bought every packet of sweets, every biscuits, you named it. I did about 400 quid in the shop, yeah. Came back on the bike. You know when it's on the handlebars, yeah, and you're like this. I was rocking everything. I come back in and the manager, no, Troy.
I'm not even going to be mad at you,
After about 2 days, after about 2 hours, 2 days was too long, 2 hours of eating all this shit, I swear I had this mad like sugar rush, headaches, all of that. And then I was like, whoa, this is right. And then we had to have like a full-on meeting. But that wasn't even the worst, yeah? Because we'd been there, everyone was getting cabin fever. So one night, I think it may have been around the same time, the goalkeeping coach was arguing with another coach. And then we're just sat there, you know, the boys watching, like, bro, they're really arguing, but they're in Italian. But like, Italian, sorry, they're really arguing. Like, bro, I reckon they might fight, you know. Who you got? And we're just messing about, like, I'd take 100 on him and him. Let's see, the gaffer comes running out, then the gaffer starts fighting the goalkeeping coach. I'm like...
Who's the manager at this time?
Beppe Sanino, another small Italian, very aggressive. And everyone was like, because we were so pissed off, yeah, we were like, hope the goalkeeper coach does it. And everyone we just stopped it. We just sat there and watched. No one stopped it.
Nobody stopped it.
They were fighting for about 4 minutes until the hotel reception come out.
Mad.
But it was like 3 weeks there. It was mental.
We can't not talk about it. Not talk about you
Go
now
on.
getting to the Prem.
All right, cool. Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
we've gone
Get
from
promoted. Yeah.
we started this. So
Yeah.
you started off at non-league, and
Yeah,
now
yeah, yeah,
every
yeah.
kid's dream once you play is to play
Yeah.
as high as you can. You now get promoted to the Prem, and not only do you get promoted to the Prem, they've now made you a captain. They made you captain.
Yeah, they made me captain that year. They tried to starve me. So the year we get promoted.
So, all right,
but
cool.
I didn't get made captain because, like, you know how it's like you're the best or you're the one.
That's what I was gonna
Basically,
ask.
what happened in that was we had Manuel Almunia, and he was going to sign a new deal, but he had a heart problem. So he didn't pass his medical. But it's like, you know what, he's been playing for time and then they've noticed it. So he went off, and then no one was the captain. And then first game of the season, Bolton at home, I just walked in and I'm the captain. Like no one sat me down and was
said,
like,
"You're
we
gonna
want
be
to do
captain."
this, whatever. And then literally, if I'm being totally honest, I was bluffing the first year of being a captain. Now I know I can't do everything right, but I'm going to be the first one out to training. I'm going to be, do you know what I mean? And that's where all those kind of methods came in. And then as we get promoted, so obviously we win, we get promoted, blah, blah, blah. We get to the Prem, and I must say this, because you do give me credit for obviously making it to the Prem, because obviously you didn't do that. If you don't, I don't want that to come across negative, but you give me the credit for that.
We've had this debate.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm conscious of how it comes across.
Yeah, it's cool, because I'm
yeah.
going to say what you say.
So we get to the Prem, and I remember we was again in Austria, because we used to do 10 days there. That was the standards. That was cool. We knew what it was, but we'd upped it. We went to Klitschko's training camp thing this time. So it was like spa, sauna, all of these things. Everything that Klitschko and that would do to cut weight. So I remember we had Kiko Sanchez Flores came in, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, another manager. Like, see how this is going to go, rare. And I remember him saying to me, because I come back big, and he was like, you okay? Yeah, he said, I just want to get to know you. Do you mind, after every training session, me and you just have a run for half an hour? I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't realise, obviously, he's trying to get me to do the extra steps and shred and whatever. But basically, them runs that were meant to be half an hour went on for an hour. Because he was saying to me, like, look, you've got to be fitter, you've got to be stronger. You're going into the Prem now. Not only do I think you can be in the Prem, but you can succeed and you could be, you could get to England. And he started just planting all of these different ideas that to me had never even been like achievable. But he's like, but we're going to up the standard here. And we end up signing Etienne Capoue, Valon Barami, like lads who have been watching the Prem. We already had Ben Watson at this point, won the FA Cup. Like you start looking around now and you're going, I'm the odd one out. Like, I ain't come from a Man United or a Tottenham. Or, do you know what I mean? I'm not an international, but now I'm the captain of these lot. I'm going to go to Caps. You're the French guys. First off, we're going to try and get him on side. And me and Caps had a really weird relationship. Like I think we respected each other, but personality types, we weren't the same.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But
that happens,
but it worked. And so I said, you speak with the French guys, and then Valon, you speak with the Italian guys, because Valon is one of the smartest people I've ever played with. As a pro, bro, you know where you played with injuries? This guy, man, he probably should have been, if he was a car, he'd have been written off 5 years before, bro. But he was back and grafting, and he was very good for me, very, very good. And then we had a few other lads. So it was like, you delegate these lot, and then, any problems, it's basically like, you handle it. But if you know what it's like, I paid that fine.
Yeah.
I'll get Troy. I'll pay that fine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not asking you. I'm going to go to the club, just take out his fucking wages at it.
No,
That's how it is.
Yeah. Do you know what's the funny thing is, and this is why I say I've got to give you credit, and I've give you credit that you were doing things which managers were doing. So you already had, like, Ainsworth.
I'm 100% going to go back into management.
Yeah,
cool. 100%.
But so you've got that, that as a player, as in, so what you then did is, people relate to what they relate to. So people from London will relate to London. People from up north relate to up north. You then saw French, younger, older.
But the problem I have is, or had then, should I say, was emotion. Like, all I cared about, again, this goes back to your earlier question, it tenfolded down in the Prem. So I don't care if you like me.
Okay.
This is as a player. Do not give a shit. If you go home every day and go, fucking hell, Troy's a nose, Troy's done this, Troy's done that, I guarantee you, I push you to a limit that you did not know you could push yourself.
Okay.
I guarantee you.
And this goes all the way back to what your pops was pushing you
Yeah,
to.
absolutely.
Okay.
And I remember very deliberately, right? We was on a training camp. This is a couple of years after, and there was me, the striking group at this point. Bear in mind, I'm me at this point. I know I'm good.
Yeah.
But I'm still. I don't want to just survive in the Prem. I want to go and play in Europe. Like, again, the aspirations change, right?
Aspirations are there, yeah.
So there's me, Andre Gray. There is Stefan Okaka, and there is Isaac Success.
Okay.
But at this time, we was only playing one up front. And we had, the long run ones, so it's like 7 minutes of running.
Yeah.
And then you get, 2 minutes rest and you go
and
again.
then long, yeah.
So basically,
Didn't do it, but I know it.
Yeah, the strikers went together and we're getting it all done. So I remember Dre was very, very fit. And I said to me and Okaka were very similar in build and whatever. And Isaac. And basically, without no one saying, they knew me and Dre were good. It was out of those two. And I just said to Isaac, who was younger, probably more talented, don't fucking quit. If we run for 7 minutes, you run for the 7 minutes. Don't 6 minutes and drop off. And then Okaka was like, I got to beat him. Because he wanted to stay. And I was like, look, he'll quit. Do the run. First one of 7 minutes. Isaac after 6 minutes. Hamstrings. I said to him, don't bother fucking coming back. In front of everyone, don't bother coming back. Why? No, you're talented. And by the way, this kid, if he wanted it, and I mean, if I could put half of your brain in him, he would be talking world class.
Okay.
Right foot, left foot, strong, powerful, can play on the wing, can play through the middle. Had every attribute you needed. Just up here was like, I'm good, I'm getting paid, life's good. Didn't have
Heart.
Didn't have that.
Yeah.
When it got a little bit tough, and again, different backgrounds, different upbringings, younger generation, totally get that. And I remember it's the only time that it broke my heart when a player left was when the club decided to keep, they named Isaac for all of the reasons I just said in the squad, and Okaka moved on. Broke my heart. Because I was like, that's the start of the downfall. When you start choosing talent over hard work, we ain't ever gonna survive.
All right, so your first season in the Premier League, when did you, listen, I know you always believed in yourself.
Oh, no. I know what you're going to ask and I know the answer already.
You know, so when did you be like, either there's levels to this or...
Within 3 minutes of playing the first game against Everton, and I give John Stones a bit of a clattering because he was getting linked for 50 mil to Man City at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember up until that point, I'd had a half-decent pre-season, but I'd scored 3 years back-to-back 20s. I was like, it's only one division up. I must be able to score at least 15.
Yeah.
3 minutes in, and it went pop, 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 pop. And I was just going, how many fucking people are on that team?
Yeah. I'm just saying, yeah.
And I remember one ball got played down the channel, and we used to do this with the ball come in, and he's flipped it, and I know I'm going.
Yeah.
And I ran, and I was ahead of John Stones, and then I wasn't ahead of John Stones, but I was still going as fast as I could.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? I remember going midway through the game, what? I don't know if I could do this. Not whether I could do it, just I don't think I'm good enough to
was
be
that
at
the
this
first
level.
time? So
First
in
time
your football,
ever.
First time
I was like, wow. And he was running past me, 1-2s. We ended up drawing the game 2-2. We had a half decent game, but it was literally if I could get 5 goals, I've done all right here. I don't score for the first 4 international break. Gets to game 7, and this is when it annoys me now when players go, we don't watch Match of the Day. We don't listen to that. Listen, I heard every single one of them start saying, because I was playing well. This was the best I'd played in my career, but I hadn't scored.
But you hadn't scored.
I think I'd got 2 or 3 assists for Iggy, and Iggy had started a bolt, and he was just bang, I'm off. He scored in the first game, scored in the second game, and now you're thinking, fuck it out, he might take my place. You know what I mean? And I know he's not better than me, but Joe, you go into those kind of thoughts. Anyway, the week leading up to Stoke, played Stoke away, and Shearer, Lineker, Thierry Henry, Jamie Carragher, and there was a local guy. But the local guy had made a whole piece before it, how if Watford were to succeed in the Prem, they had to get rid of me. I was holding them back.
Oh, shit, for real?
Yeah, and I used to read everything. So, like, I know people sit and go, oh, I don't read it. I used to read everything, bro. So I remember this game against Stoke, and I remember driving to the game.
Stoke's in the Prem, right?
Stoke in the Prem? Yeah. And this is the last game before international break, but I'd gone 8 games, which would have been 2 months in the Prem, with no goal. And I was just like, I have to score. I don't care if we lose 8-1. I'm scoring in this game. I scored against Stoke, first goal. Iggy backheeled it to me. I turned, faked to shoot, and the defender slipped. And so give me an extra touch, and then I just passed it into the bottom corner from like 20 yards out. But it was like it was like, them finishing when you know it. As long as you pass it in.
you pass in the corner, it's going in.
And I scored. And if you ever see the celebration, I slid at the goal, the corner flag. I headbutted it, I punched it, and I was looking at Stoke fans and went, and you lot were fucking saying I couldn't do it. These Stoke people didn't even know what the fuck I was talking about. But it was so personal to me. We won the game 2-0. And I remember I went to Paris the same day because we had a few days off. And I remember getting on the flight and just going, oh.
Yeah, the biggest relief.
Oh, I've arrived. And I watched Match of the Day. I recorded it. I watched it Saturday. I watched it Sunday. I watched it later in the week on a Wednesday. And everyone said, he's here.
He's here.
And that season I ended up scoring, I think it was 15 goals, 13 assists. So when you get to the Premier, the one thing you realise is these are all your mates. These are all your teammates. You've never met a more ruthless group of people.
All right. Okay.
I dare you miss a shot.
Okay.
And this is the bit that gets me with players to this day, right? So if we had, you know what, like Players Saturday, we did it Watford. Players Saturday, you'd be in on a Sunday, off on a Monday. Because they said like the second day we cook the DOMs, stay at home, rest, take the kids to school, whatever you need to do. So you'd be in on a Sunday, Let's say you won 2-1. You know the most we're going to speak about is not the 2 goals. It's going to be, how do we let a goal in? We should have done that with this better. And by the way, it got to a point, and this is when I thought our team was at its best. The manager would just go, click, take a step back. Because if, let's say a cross come in, you'd have Ben Foster going, fuck it, right, Bale, see it. When I was telling you there, stay the front post. This is why I'm fucking, and like, a lot of cursing, a lot of swearing, but it was like, so I'm telling you, don't worry about what he says. And then obviously the chances, like, I remember we played a game against Man United away. I never won at Old Trafford, I was fuming. Played, Iggy, I've told you, Iggy was a Man United fan. And in the game, he had 8 shots. We lost 1-0. Of those 8, he could have passed to 2 other people 5 times. And we'd have had tap-ins or one-on-one. Do you get what I mean? But, again, older, reflecting. He's a Man United fan, wants to score against his boyhood team. Totally get it. And me and Iggy are still friends to this day. But on that day, it's a Tuesday night game. I'll never forget it. We battered Man United. Juan Mata scored a free kick in the 90th minute, top corner. We walked to the thingy, and everyone who walked past me was like, don't kill him. Just don't kill him. And I was like, keep him the fuck away from me. Getting the thing, the manager's like, unlucky, we had our chances. And I was like, I literally went, you're not going to fucking tell him? And they were like, yeah, tomorrow. We're in tomorrow. I said, fuck that. I said, I ain't getting on a plane with you, lying cunt. I said, I ain't getting on a plane with him. Got a taxi from Manchester to the hotel. £470.
Oh, so you was like that. See, I never got.
I can't sit.
You can't.
I can't sit in it if we're not going to discuss it. If we have it out, no problem.
And at this time, you was how old at this time?
26.
So you were still
26, 27. But it was like
Did you?
26.
So as you got older, did you change that?
Fuck
Would
no.
you? So you still stayed on 100 if something wasn't.
Even when I was at Forest Green League 2, what are we doing this for? As we get older, yes, we should evolve and elevate and all these fun, shitty buzzwords you want to use. Fact of the matter is, this is how I broke it down to a lot of the lads. This is when I was playing. Because obviously you have to change the manager. I totally take that. But when I was playing at Forest Green, right, this is a perfect example. You would have lads on let's say, anything between £800 and £2,000 a week, let's just say,
Yeah.
that would get in at 5 to 9 and be back in their car at 12:30.
Okay, yeah.
Simplest question I said to them, with this current money that you've got, do you think you can retire? You know the answer?
Hell no.
No. What the fuck are you doing from 1 p.m. at home to the next morning at 9?
I totally agree.
I wouldn't go and play FIFA. Well, I hope you're fucking good at it, because that might be your job moving forward.
Well, it could be now, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
No, but that's the fact.
Yeah.
The fact is, if you try to compete with the people that are doing it for a living, while you're training, they're gaming. So you're already behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
While you're playing on a Saturday, they're gaming. While you're playing on a Tuesday, they're gaming. But factually, what I could never understand is this is an opportunity, and you will take this exactly how I mean it. The opportunity to earn a living, to kick a fucking ball around.
I hit brother.
Are you stupid? What is the quickest way to make £1 million legally?
Yeah.
Play football.
The reason why I said about was you always like that, because in one aspect you understood where Iggy was. Of
course.
You know, sometimes it's more.
And listen, the next day when we spoke, it was fine. And we had a perfect relationship. But this last bit is a fucking key point to me. Right. And the reason it's a key point to me is because you know how many of the lads, and you know this because you're a bit older than me, you've seen more people retire from it.
Yeah.
They retire, they're miserable, they're depressed, they're fucking thinking one key contributor, what if?
Yeah. Yeah. Hindsight's
Do you know how hard it is to live with what if?
Yeah.
Do you know how I'm not even retired, I've stopped playing a year ago, or 15 months ago. You know why I'm so comfortable doing it? Got arthritis in both ankles. I got a hole in that knee. I need a hip operation. This shoulder doesn't even work properly. Can't touch my arm. Do you know why I'm so comfortable? Because I gave everything.
Because there was no what ifs. Yeah.
I gave everything. And then when it's time to be done, because football will be done with you.
100%.
You go, cool. I'm all right, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll be trying to tell you that, cuz.
no, but I'm saying, like, I'm all right.
Yeah.
If this football thing don't work, I do all right with the media. Like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Life's good. I got a few businesses. Life's whatever.
Yeah.
I used to say this, and I remember we had Dave Horseman at the time, and he used to like sit and laugh. He's so true. How can I, at 35, with the injuries I've told you I've got, still be outrunning you?
Oh, say nothing. Don't need
Do
to
you
tell
know
me
what
that.
I mean? And the lads would go, oh, no, but it's Monday, the game's not till... I'm like, no. The game starts now. Why are you comfortable being last in the running? Why are you comfortable losing games in training? Because if that's happening there, you're going to lose in life. And I swear to God, bro, I always put everything from football into life. And probably now is where I'm older and I'm a little bit emotionless away from football. But I'm sitting going, I say to my kids now, right? But we used to consider as standard, be respectful, turn up on time, do the best you can. If he did that now, he's considered a grafter.
Yeah. I feel you.
So the problem is he's probably got friends and family and different people go, bloody hell, your dad's intense, isn't he? One of my daughters plays for Leicester. You know you're not supposed to speak like around there, it's academy. She was doing the sprint test 2 weeks ago. And I knew she weren't sprinting because you know your kids, right?
Because you know your kids, yeah.
But she didn't want to embarrass her friends. Bear my not meant to speak. Oi, get here. Dad, you're not meant to get here. You think I'm driving you to football for you to not try?
Yeah.
If you don't want to do it, tell me now, we'll go home. I'm sorry. Next one, sprint. Guess who's the fastest in our team?
Yeah, I already know.
But this is me now as a parent and as a footballer. When we get back in the car, she did 18 things good. What do you think we spoke about for an hour and a half on the way home?
Yeah. I'm different from you, but I get what you're talking about.
Why do you get to come and half-arse it? Well, because I'm doing okay in life. I'm doing okay in life. Not you. You get the spoils of the hard work. And my wife's exactly the same. And I spoke to the little man on the way down about it. Like, you have to work harder. Do you know why now? For him, especially. You're a Deeney and you're a male. So now people think you're me, even though we're completely different. He's 50 times better than me as a human. But now you've got to understand, just being nice isn't good enough. Just being okay isn't good enough. Ask him, he's sat right there. Ask him what I've been like now he's doing GCSEs.
But you know the thing is, like,
Am I lying? So you don't speak, but...
listen, I always say, and I touched on it earlier in the sense where I believe we all are products of our environment. And
that's not environment. No, that is. It's not. It's not environment. If it's a product of my environment, I'd let every single excuse get in the way.
No.
It is, because there's 50 other people that were in the same situation as me, doing the same thing, and have all used that excuse as to why their life didn't choose them.
You're missing the point of what I say it's a product of your environment. So, your product of your environment is that you chose to not allow your environment to determine you. So to define you. So what there is though, but see now you pass on. So what we want as fathers, your dad wanted better for you. So, but your pop still made mistakes, which you made mistakes, but still wanted better from you.
Yeah.
So your environment, what you was around, you didn't allow to define you, but then shaped you. So now for your child and your children, you are now setting an environment to be like, look, it may look different, but for me, the environment now I'm setting for you is that you now can't allow your environment to define you. So now you're saying to your boy that he's a Deeney. So because now he is now known, or what you've now pushed from your pops, you pushed him there, which is cool.
Right there,
listen,
he's spoiled, you know.
Yeah, you spoiled him. So that's what it is. So you spoiled him. So what you're trying to do now is give him the things that you didn't have, but not take away the things that you did learn by not having it. Yeah. So that's the balance of now what you're trying to do.
You're
so
that's mics around it again.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you know I talk about things.
But the point what I'm saying is, when the reason I know it's about football, but I actually think it's life. I think
and it is about life. Yeah. It is about life.
But the point what I'm saying to you is right. We have all been around talented people. We all have one singular thing, one singular word that makes us all the same. Normal. But your day of normal is filming this shit. My day of normal today is being with the kids, driving 2 hours to come and be with you. Your normal is fixing that. Your normal is doing that. But we always were as a normal. So there's somebody somewhere that goes, I would love to have a podcast with this fancy setup, with all these pictures of Troy, not the ones of you, all these pictures of Troy, hanging around. But you hear what I'm saying, right? So that's someone's normal.
Yeah.
So now, right, when we use that word as normal, what does that mean? It means fuck all, because it's not normal. Our lives are not normal. What do we want everyone to have? The whole saying should be hard work, because you've made hard work to get to there.
Right. And
somebody who wants has now got to work harder than you to get there.
Right.
But fundamentally, the only word we should ever use is hard work.
Cool. I don't ever say that, but it's all relative.
How did you get big? No, genuinely, how did you get big?
Listen, to validate your point, because I would have said something, it is hard work.
Of course it is. But, do you miss a day at the gym?
No.
Do you miss a day on the Watt bike and keep posting it on WhatsApp for everyone to look at?
It's motivating.
It's uncomfortable.
I'm just
it's
uncomfortable
just seeing you sweating there. It's like,
listen, but
I just feel, you know, when I see I think his missus must be hot, like thinking this is what she sees.
I would say
just
that.
Have him just out here sweating.
I would say that. I just want to put, maybe when I was younger, but as I'm older, I don't put in that same amount of work.
I hear you.
I'm just going to throw that out there, brother.
But it's hard work.
No, and I don't, the worst thing is, the craziest, maddest thing is what you're saying. I agree. Fundamental that it is hard work.
It's
because
hard work's the goal.
But, what you also want to understand is, so you're not taking hard work away from your son. You're still trying to install hard work, but within a place where he's not starting from where you started from. Even that normal, it's all context and relevance to the individual. And that's why I always say to you this. Even when you're talking about, look, careers and you don't, and I say to you, big man, I know how hard I worked and I didn't achieve what you achieved. So I could never, no matter what I've done with my life, and I've maximized what was God given me. I've maximized it and I've known. But I worked hard, and yet I still didn't get to the promised land that you did. And that's why we always go back and forth. And I'm like,
can you finish off what I say back to you?
No, of course you give props, but I always sit here and I say, but I worked hard and I didn't get to the prem, big man. So when you try, and I'm not saying you downplay what you've done, but I'm like, brother, this is why I could have never even sit and say, brother, that man's shit. because, and I'm not saying you do, but
I do, but it's fine.
yeah, I know you do, but I can't because I know the graft I put in, and yet still I fell short from what that first goal was. Not saying
I hear
I
you.
wouldn't change my career.
We're saying
I
the same
wouldn't.
thing, but
I
in a
know.
different way.
Do you know what I'm
I get you,
saying?
I hear
But
you.
look, I'm gonna actually ask something crazy in regards. It may sound silly. What was the hardest league? League 2, League 1, the champ or the Prem? It's a Prem. I
Night
know
and
some
day.
Prem man try and say, oh yeah, because you don't get to, the Prem was the hardest.
Night and day.
Yeah.
You could play 3 games in a week and be cool. You could play 1 game against Man City, don't touch the ball and cover 15k and think, what the fuck is that on there?
Yeah, we got him in
But
a
you
couple
can also,
games.
but the thing is, one thing, again, maybe it's got a little bit away from it now because they're all playing the same type of way, but especially for the time I was in the Prem, you could play Aston Villa at the time like they were in transition and weren't the Villa of now, but you'd have to be physically fit, you'd have to go to war, and then you'd have to deal with Jack Grealish. Then the following week, you'd play Man City, and you go, we're going to touch the ball. When we do touch the ball, hopefully we get more than 1 touch, and maybe if we get 2, we'll have a good day. Then you go, oh, we've got Anfield away the week after that, we've got to go to Liverpool. And they had Mane, Firmino, Salah, and everyone just running, and you'll go, what the fuck is going on here? And then, this is the maddest part, right? When you're in the Prem, you have to go to a point, and I remember this, we did it at Liverpool, because the manager said, there is no weakness under the Klopp team, right? And I remember him saying, we're going to send it to Andy Robertson. That was our only chance that we had. Let it go down the left-hand side. Why was that? Because he was just a little bit worse than Trent. Not because he was bad.
Because he was
just,
yeah.
That's it. You played in the Champ, you know, and you've been there, played the Champ or EFL, you know if you've had a shit game for 87 minutes, one of these defenders is going to run into each other and you're going to have a shot.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't played the Prem, but I know the EFL team.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, you don't have to do much. Just stand in the middle of the goal and probably one of them's going to fall over. The cross is going to come in, someone's going to miss it, it's going to land at your feet, you score. They give away a stupid pen. You'll have a 5-minute spell in a championship game, a 15-minute spell in a championship game where you've been terrible, but you could score 2.
Yeah.
In the Prem game, you could have a 90-minute game where you've been unbelievable and you've touched the ball 22 times and you're 4-0 down. And you go, I think I played all right there. And you go, how? How do you? Where's the logic, bro? No, I did, because I didn't give the ball away. But you did touch it. Oh, yeah, that kind of helps.
So
the levels are just, bro, the levels are crazy.
Brother, I ain't been there. I watch it and I'm like, boy, we played a couple of these big teams in cup runs and it's just been peak.
I remember when you played Liverpool, it was on TV, and I think you got Gerrard's shirt, if I remember that same game. The one thing that no one understands, right? See the sound when these guys pass the ball?
Yeah, brother.
The ball goes boom, boom, boom. And you're thinking, they're just
when did that change?
What's happening there?
So did that change in training? Because that's what you know when all of a sudden, when they pass the ball, so a defender pass it into the midfielder, it's not just tapped in.
It's a rhythm. This is the thing that I learned in the Prem. So you do like passing drills, and you'd go like one touch back, but you want it here, dub dub, dub dub. That's what you wanted to hear. You wanted to hear touch on that foot, out quick, dub dub, dub dub. And I remember we had Marco Silva, and he did this passing drill, and it must have went dub dub dub. He went whoa whoa whoa. He wasn't even watching. So what the fuck was that?
That is sick, you know. I just want to, because I don't think I've heard it explained as in music.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's like you do it. You know however it might be.
I know what you're doing. I can close my eyes and know the drill.
Like, I don't know. It's coming from the left. You go boom, 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 boom. So you get in a touch on your left foot, bang your right, and then one that tempo, boom, 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 and then someone has a bad touch, and you go boom, 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 and he's like, hold on, wait, what? This is the fucking warm up. If we're not going to get it right here, we'll just fucking run. And you've heard that how many times?
Oh, many a time.
And you go, oh. And I remember we had one time we did a thing. I can't remember. It was a coach. I think it was Javi Gracia. We did this drill, and it was like boom, 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 and then it was like right one touch. So usually doom, 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 doom. You know, with the one touch it gets quicker, and it's like pass. It's round the square. Then the third one was into your man. It come back out. And then he's got change. So whatever he says change, you'd normally get a little bit of tempo mix. And I remember he went do-do, do-do, do-do. And he goes, change. He went boom, 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 boom. And it went seamless. And everyone was like, ooh, you hear that? That's when we knew we were good. That year we got to the FA Cup final. because we was all in sync, and it's just a little nuanced thing that people won't understand unless you're in it. But when you're hearing dudum, like you don't have to. You can close your eyes and listen to a game of football and go, "That's too slow."
Yeah. What was it? What made you the good captain at that specific time?
The recruitment.
Okay.
Every 6 months, it was. What have you done for you lately? Is that Janet Jackson? Is it the song?
Yeah.
What have you done for me lately?
Janet
It was
Jackson.
6 months. Window closed in August. If you went at it by Jan, somebody else is coming. Competition's healthy. Competition is what you need.
But then being as the captain, you had to be the connector. No.
Yeah.
So how did you manage controlling the culture, controlling the competitive element that it's not an Iggy just going for him?
No, it got to a point where we were so good as a group. So from the English side of things, myself, Craig Cathcart, we say English, it's like English speaking, it's not, they are English.
Yeah.
Craig Cathcart, Ben Foster, myself, Tom Cleverley, Will Hughes, Nathaniel Chalabat, Andre Gray, there's 7.
Yeah.
Good lads, Spider the team, Mapsy, sorry Mapsy, I left you out. Mapsy, good lads, solid, you know what you're going to get. From the French side, you had Decore, Capu, trying to think, you had Isma Sarr, you had good lads from the Spanish speaking, so you had Pereira, Delafeu, Kiko. We were big boys from AC Milan, Juventus. Do you know what I mean? Man United.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
So think about it, but you've come from non-league, and this is the.
Yeah, but they're coming into my world. In my world, you do things properly.
Okay.
I don't care what you did at Juventus. I hope that what you did at Juventus, you come in and you could sprinkle a little bit more to us and elevate us. And Maxi Pereira did that fantastically. Trained so well, so elegant when he went past people. You do the games, like the little running games, like, in and out the cones, come back, give the bib.
Yeah.
Never touch a cone.
Yeah, dope.
Never touch a cone. And then, you see the English ones, and there's cones facing everywhere. And I used to be like, mate, you never touch a cone. He's like, no, I don't want the player to be able to touch me.
Yeah.
Because he's thinking, how is he going to skip past players?
So how did you manifest or deal with the financial element? So, brother, the reason why I'm saying that, because
I think you know, but go
yeah,
on.
but no, the reason why I'm saying that, I'm talking about as with money comes ego. So
Yeah.
when you're a product of the EFL,
Yeah.
the most man's gonna earn 10 bags, if that, in the League 2, League 1s.
Yeah.
To the you're now going on. We slightly touched on. You was on 24 bags, and then
I signed a 5-year deal, 5 years in a row.
I know what you was on. So man, them are similar onto that, meaning that.
I was like, we can say it, I know, it's not a problem. I went from 5 to 24, 24 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 130.
Damn. So say the last one again.
139.
Damn. I'm not even sorry. So now that level of money is, you can't chat to me money. That's from the product of, and I'm talking about from where the product of it, when you get to that, you're like, big man. Like you were saying that when you was on 5 bags, like, man, I don't care if I don't play because I'm going shopping.
Again, evolution.
No, not
right?
for you. No, not for you.
Go on.
I'm talking about as a captain.
Yeah.
How do you then deal with man that their response could be, but if I play, if I don't play, but I can go buy a Lambo every week.
23s are over there.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I wanted to get.
Fozzie said it the best on his podcast, right? He said it twice. They asked him who was this. By the way, this is after I've left. He's at Wrexham, so he can choose whoever he wants to. They said, who's the best captain you've ever had? He said, obviously, Man United had Roy Keane, but the best captain I had was Troy.
Why?
Now, you'd have to ask him why, but I think he said something to the effect of he kept everyone in line, he was great, and the second he left, it went to shit. Right? So that to me is the best form of like credit, respect, whatever, that somebody else says that.
I get it.
Do you know what I'm saying? But to me, what I would say...
So what was your one greatest for you? So you hear that. So you hear somebody he's had Roy Keane, he's had Bill, and then he says, for me, he kept everybody in line. And the thing which I keep coming back to, and you said it, I don't care if they don't like me. But at the end of the day is...
I'm going to make you better.
I'm going to make you... So would that be your one, the one thing you'd be like, look, God don't like me, but I'm here to make you better.
I'm going to make you better. I'm going to realise that you don't realise just how much you can push through this shit. Because I didn't. And this is going to sound big. I guarantee you, if we and you have played in the same team for 3 years, you'd have had the best year of your life.
And the worst thing is, I wouldn't have.
I'm not talking about it from like a friendship. I want about from a numbers point of view. I guarantee you I'd have got you the best.
And the maddest thing is, and
You'd
I would
have hated
have agreed,
every minute of it.
And this is what I'm saying. But what I would say back, you would have then been a better captain because you would have not have just seen it your way. And that's why I think we work so well together because we different in the way we captain. Yeah. So in a different way, because we are both alphas, there's no two ways about it. We walk in the room, our energy speaks before.
I think I could talk about the situation there that I'm trying to allude to without giving it away.
Go on.
Obviously, the big man is kind of scared of water. Water's not really his...
Not kinda. Hella scared.
Like, I'm talking, doesn't even dip his toe in at the beach.
Yeah, I'm not that guy.
So we was at a situation in a program where it required us to get into the water, and try and achieve our
do some stuff.
Yeah, try to do some. Try to go against your go against
natural
your fears.
Yeah, your fears. Yeah.
And obviously the big man was a little bit. It's fair to say that he was a little bit apprehensive. You were nervous.
Bruv, don't sugarcoat it, brother.
He shit himself,
I was scared.
I'm trying to be like, your brother's in the room.
He knows, bruv. He see me wet the bed, cause he knows my weaknesses, baby. I'll tell you that. When we was very young, I'm just putting I'm just saying that.
Recently,
but,
so basically, he obviously he was very scared, very like whatever, and I observe. I think you notice it. I observe everything. Yeah, so I understand who's what, where, and I see it all. So I see him talking to himself, and it's like. It wasn't like a motivational talk. It was more like, yo, we don't need this, innit? Like, let's duck out of it. Am I lying?
No, you're not.
It was like, we don't need it. We've done enough. Let's go home. The missus, the kids. It's not like it's nice at home. So I walked over and I just kindly reminded him, it's fucking water. It'll be over in 30 seconds. Get your shit together. I just think at the end of it, how fucking proud you are. You're going to ask your kids at some point to do something they don't want to do. And they're going to see this and go, you're a hypocrite. And that's what I say to him all the time. Anything I've asked you to do, I've done 10 times better, 10 times harder. I promise you, anything I'm asking you to do is not to do it to humiliate you. I'll never do that. But if I'm going to ask you, yo, go do this or go do that, it's because I'm willing to go there. And I remember I just left you for 30 seconds or so. Again, he must have had a chat with himself. It must have worked because he was like, yo, I'm ready, let's go.
It wasn't what I needed from my point of view. It was the way so he helped me through it. And you'll see it. Like, brother, there was times I was tapping out saying, yo, you ain't killing me today. And it was, and sometimes that works. At that point then, in the insanity we was in, it weren't no time to, bruv, close your eyes and let's sing. It was big man thing, we ain't gonna die, let's get out of this situation, we'll get in, we'll get out. And that's what I needed. And that's what worked there. And that's why I say, as a collective, I totally get it, where, bruv, I would have disliked it. I would have disliked hearing what you were saying to get to, look, it's a means to an end. And to get to that end, we need to go through this. So that's what I'm saying.
If I can just full circle that off, this is the bit, right? So for fans might not like me and ownership might not like me. Do you think there's enough player interviews, enough people that I've played with? I had 18 managers in 13 years at Watford. Have you ever heard one of them, just one, say, I dislike Troy? I hate Troy. He hasn't, like, whatever.
I've got 7 men on my phone that say it, but they're scared because they might say, I don't like enough. Fuck you.
I'm literally saying, like, genuinely with chess, they can't. And the reason is because at the end of it, to wrap it all up into one, is we got one life. One life. You may believe we come back, whatever, but for right here, right now, for what we know, we got one life at this. Why not just go full throw? There's 2 things that's going to happen. 1, you're going to succeed. Or 2, you're going to be ahead of where you was yesterday.
Do you know what? So let me and I'm going to wrap this up because we could talk. The reason why I'm saying it's powerful and the reason why how you was and how you are allowed you to get through the environment and the trials and tribulations you went through. And the reason why I say as a collective is why we would be powerful is because some people hadn't had gone through as harsh of an environment or a reality that you went through. They still have got the talent, but what that dealing with was not needed, if you know what I'm saying. So that's the reason why I'm saying, bruv, nobody will come out, because especially as you develop. So a 19-year-old, 20-year-old dealing with a Troy Deeney who's 24, 25, and the way what you saw at 9, you're like, you think this is hard. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, but I'm able to be empathetic.
No. So,
Yeah,
and the worst thing is, I know you, and bruv, you can't be, especially where you've grown now. And what makes you is, I don't care what anybody says. As soon as you become a father, it's the first time of unconditional love.
For real?
You know, it's unconditional love,
Yeah.
and so also that just by its DNA default settings has something within you that changes you in regard. So don't let me go on camera. Don't let me take away me saying that you're not empathetic. Far from it. I'm just saying that in regards to when you discuss through individuals and the deliverance at times will be where I'm saying is that it's the balance in regards to.
And there's one thing I pride myself on, and this is the bit I probably should have said earlier. See all the good shit I do.
Yeah.
The good shit. You'll never hear about it.
It's kind of, why?
Because I ain't doing it for that.
Yeah.
For example, here's one that's actually out there. We had to do it because it was a charitable donation. At school in Watford, I built an outside facility for kids with autism.
Why would you not scream that from the rafters?
Why?
Because, okay.
But I'm saying this, but the thing is, do you know the motivation behind it?
Go on. But it's not, this is what I'm saying.
Do you know the motivation behind it?
Of what?
Doing that for kids with autism. Do you know why? Do you know how blessed we are to have kids that are fully okay, life's good?
So why are you,
the thing is,
but you know negativity rolls, right?
Yes.
And people spin off negativity and they post negativity.
Good.
So it doesn't take any away from you genuinely in your heart.
But it takes away from
What?
the true purpose of it. And I'll answer it, right? You just said there, negativity sells, negativity rolls, negativity. So even if I did one thing good, let's say I only ever did one thing good.
Right.
That's not going to get the traction that the negativity does, right?
100%.
Cool. But when you do one thing good,
right,
and in this situation, it's at a school, life's good, and you're helping close to 50 to 100 kids per day, right? Those 100 people know the real me.
Right.
The negativity is the people online going, oh my God, he doesn't like Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, but watch this. I've been through the airport, I've been through everywhere. There is not one person in my life, in 36 years living, that's ever come up to me and gone, I am X562 off Twitter, and I said this.
Yeah. Listen,
not one. But what I say to that is, do the good stuff, and what will happen is, and again, snowball effect, you do the stuff behind it. Everyone will come in, I said hello to everybody, do I not?
Yeah.
That's here, there, that's everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Because one of these people now will meet 5 people at the pub afterwards. They go, oh, we interviewed that Troy Deeney today. They go, fucking hell, I can't stand him. Do you know what they're going to say?
But he was cool. He's
all right, you know. I think you've got him wrong.
Yeah.
So why do I need to post that I've just met these people when they're going to do it for me?
But that's not what you're posting. See, now
why do I need to post a charity when they're going to do it for me?
Then this is what I think you're missing. And this is why I'm saying you become so tunnel vision. And because you're a product, you're like saying this. So I know that, man, them say, Troy don't like Salah. So we know that because that's a talking point, right? So you now do your school, and the funny thing is, I didn't even know. I didn't know you built the school. So first of all, I didn't. So I've known you the whole period, and this is. But I would have known. Oh yeah, boom. You know what? Man, don't rate Salah. Whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they. But you know, I go away now saying, do you know what? Troy's story it touched, man. So not only did he see something at 9, he did this and that. His fortitude still was like, bruv, he built a school. So then when I'm chatting to the man, I'd be like, yo, what can we do? But what can we do? So when I'm saying, I'm just, but you're missing. But you building the school and what naturally will happen is, bruv, you'll have people on the net, but why you got to post if you're just doing a good deed? Oh, you want a pat on the back. You know what I'm saying? That's what people, you may not say that. I know, but people may turn around and say, why show your good deeds? Because what that then does is it makes other people be like, nah, you know what, bruv, this world is a good place. Because we constantly get programmed by seeing negativity. We constantly get programmed by seeing what's wrong with the world. And me
I just
sitting
think we
back
look
here,
at the world different, you know.
but exactly,
Do you know what I
and this
mean?
is what I'm saying. But I just want to
When you're
let
saying it
you
like that, because
know.
I'm literally going like, well then, I don't do socials. The reason I don't do socials, because in real life, I know who I am.
Cool.
So if I need to go and post a picture, and this is for loads of people now, they'll post a picture and it fucking hell, it only got 100 likes. Jesus Christ. You don't know 100 people. What are you fucking talking about?
Cool. I'm with you on that. This is
But
what I'm
then,
saying. But you're looking at it.
I'm
From
looking at it as a
pessimistic-
normal human.
No,
That's
because
factually
but what you're
normal.
saying. So why? So now why?
I don't know
look
why
at-
we're arguing over something good,
I
by the
know,
way,
I know.
but it's fine. But you and your brothers, you post, whenever I see you guys post, yeah, genuinely, hand on heart, I'm not saying it because you're here, and I'm not saying it because you're both smaller than me, yeah. I am saying, when I see you guys post, I genuinely sit and laugh, and like, it fills me with enjoyment and happiness. It's like, do you get what I'm saying? It's that's how it should be. That's a family unit that's been, whether you've gone through hard shit, good shit, whatever, you lot have been raised properly. That's how I see it. You've been raised properly because you fundamentally know that no matter what happens in this world, you've got your brothers.
Amen.
That's factually right. I look at life and go, right, if I posted everything that I did, which is what people want you to do, one, people would think it's fake.
Okay.
Because they wouldn't be able to see how much I do and they don't understand it.
Yeah.
Secondly, it would confuse the fuck out of people. Because they go, actually, he's all right, but he's a knob. But he does nice things, but he slags my and it would just confuse people. So what I do is go, do you know what, you want to make your assumption of me? Go ahead. One thing I guarantee you're not going to do. Put your fucking hands on me. Secondly, no, but this is just how I am. Secondly, if you are in need, I'm always going to be there.
Do you know? This is what I'm saying.
And that's
we are
to me,
the worst thing is
is
we
that
are
is it-
saying
it
the
is.
same thing in regards to. But what I just want to say, and this is
I'm going
what
to give my charity a shout out as well, because we help 500 kids per week. And
Say it again.
That's funded by who?
say it again.
So 500 kids a week.
But
By the end of this year, we're at 5,000 kids a week.
So, and this is what I want to try to say to you. So
there you go. Vision for All. Go check it out.
hey, listen, and we'll put the link in. Go check out Vision for All. But brother, look, that's the thing. So they can all say what they want to say because it's clickbait. We know the world we're living in. But for me, as regardless, strip it all away. That doesn't change. That man saying, "Oh yeah, Troy's this."
I
It don't change.
see it. I don't care. How much money did I ask you for this?
Nothing. All right, listen, I've said this throughout the show or this conversation, and people give flowers when
You're dead.
yeah, but I always feel like you got to give flowers here. And again, like we touched on subliminally, and we've had conversations without no cameras and that, you know, how much I respect you. But your story is powerful. And I know sometimes you don't like hearing that and you're like, nah, man, I'm so strong. Oh, no, shut up, man. You're the realest.
I hope I don't sound like
Bruv,
that. I know I
you
sound bad, but...
No, that's how you sound.
I
I'm
sound
strong,
bad.
bruv. I don't hug nobody. You know. Bruv, you're one of the realest. One of the realest people. So, and also with this Beast Mode podcast, we do giving flowers a little bit differently, because you know what I'm saying. So I know you're like, I don't want flowers. It's only give flowers when people pass. But word on the street is you've never tried African food.
No, I told you I've never tried African
I know
food.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I try to make out like I did hella research.
No, you didn't.
I actually chat to you and you told me you didn't say.
I'm
you know
from
what
obviously a Caribbean background, and like from around my area, it's Caribbean or
Say no.
Irish, innit?
So on the Beast Mode podcast, we like to do things where it's different. You have memories and that. So this
You're
is
not
going
going
to
to
be
give me any madness, though.
no
No
madness.
chicken
No,
foot,
but proper nice food. The goosey, poundy jam, some soya. All right, listen, we'll get put it in them things.
Soya?
Yeah, man, soya. Put it in there. We'll get this, brother. Come on, you're gonna try this. You're gonna give me your honest opinion. To be fair, like you, like I gotta tell you.
Okay.
All right.
So, but the problem you're going to have instantly, yeah, what I find, especially like Caribbean food, yeah, it's not like parents or grandparents.
Oh,
so
listen, you're never going to find
like-
that. Yeah, you're never going to
Yeah.
find it. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to get the essence. You're going to get the essence of it.
Why
do you know what I'm
is
saying?
the onion not cooked, though? Just
No, the onion don't cook. You just put it on. It's
For
more.
what?
You just put it on there for a little bit to the way that it resonates onto the soya.
So, and I know you man eat with your hands, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
So show me how this
you
goes.
Man, you know, because we
actually-
eat with our hands.
Yeah.
Well, you man eat with your hands. You get me? So let me show you how it's
Go on, let's do it.
So this way, you take it out here.
That?
You dip. You take it in. Oh, butter. God damn, man.
I'll be honest, everything about that made me feel sick.
What
Why
the-
are you chomping like that?
Because
bro?
it's take it in first
Alright, so you
and then
gotta-
tell
you gotta
me.
do this?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a bit. Okay.
Yeah, and then
then
get
do
some of
this.
that. Yeah, it's a goosey
What
soup.
is this that I'm
It's a
eating?
goosey soup. So
A soup?
yeah, it's a soup. It's
So
a goosey
someone's
soup.
been sick.
Yeah, no, what? What? Would you take it first? Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, you know what I'm.
I ain't gonna lie,
Go on.
it's meaty.
What?
It's meaty.
To be fair, I'm gonna lie a little bit. It's a little bit cold, but you know what I'm saying. But take some of this. Do
What's
you
this?
like this? Is soya. Do you like pepper?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know, take this. Yeah, man. Yeah. What you saying? Oh snap.
It's alright. I don't even want to. This is meaty. This is alright though. This is a bit of meat.
This is nice. To be fair, would taste better when it's warm. It's a little bit.
This is one of them. This is gonna make me shit for a couple of days.
No, this is the cool one.
Nah, it runs
hopefully.
out my belly.
No, man, it's a cool one. The pepper
Right,
and that.
good,
This is
yeah.
beef soya. There's lamb soya. There's different ones. Which, to be fair, I'm a lamb soya kind of guy.
What? This is overrated.
But I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
It's overrated, isn't it?
You're not right.
You're not really like us.
You're not right, brother.
No, it's
I'm not gonna
cool.
lie to you. You're not right. I'm not gonna lie. If you was eating this, then maybe from 5 Troy Deeneys, it would have took 3 Troy Deeneys. But you go eat. Go eat your curry goat.
Nah, you know.
Just go eat your curry goat.
But you need some roti. You need some. You know what I
Go
mean?
eat some of that, but that don't give you the real.
You know what I said? See how the black people will know.
They were
They
talking
know.
about.
This is hard to eat, man.
But
Like,
why you think, man?
this is why you
why
man
you
got
think we so solid?
strong jaw,
Why
innit?
you think we so solid? Well, you gotta eat the right food. You be
Nah,
right
you know
in
what?
your-
It could work. It could
Yeah,
work.
I know,
It could
man.
work.
I
But
know.
I'm on about this.
The worst thing is if I
it's
got
basically
you-
callaloo.
If I got you a salted, I should have got you to a salted meat. Oh, the red stew. Let me just say, I gotta say, thanks for Mr. Troy Deeney for coming. Listen, I knew it was gonna be explosive. I knew it was gonna be epic. Yeah, you might say you don't like, look at man.
I'm trying to make this nice.
Trying to, but he's saying you got his fingers out here. But listen, real bars, blessings on blessings. Troy,
Thank you.
my brother for life, blessings on blessings.
Anytime.
Right, like,
That's
subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace and love. Take care.